West, y'all.
So you didn't come out west much? Or you used to back in the day or something?
Back in the day, I remember when this was all farmland.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, for around here, I remember that, when they started building the houses too.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Did you live out west back then?
Nah, I had family out here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But, yeah, to get to Ben's house, I remember coming through that way. Yeah, to follow down there, and I went, oh, okay then. Yeah, but I followed maps, and I don't normally like to follow maps, and it took me the long way.
Oh, nah, man. Nah, Phillip, man, cheers for coming over.
Oh, no, thank you.
Like, it was Ben that said that you live out south, but by the middle, by the airport now. So.
Yeah, Favona. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By David Tour's house. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. By his house. So, I don't know, mate, it's my first podcast ever.
Is it?
I followed it and I was, believe it or not, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, man, I wonder what this is. And when Ben first asked me, oh, hey, can I jump on? And I dragged my ass. I was a bit unsure about all these. Man, how does this work?
Oh, yeah.
I've done Niuean radio for the last 7 years.
Oh, yeah,
So I go on there and do interviews. I never put the headphones on. Nothing scripted. But usually I got my little print, I have a flyer and I hold it up for the camera and I forgot all that. That's how much I was overthinking it.
Where did they broadcast Niue radio?
At Manukau City, at PMN Niue.
Oh, it's part of them.
Yeah.
It's part of PMN.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And Manukau, and Tuesdays is their show. I'm on there tomorrow night. I'm taking Tony Iro with me tomorrow night. So he's flying to Niue on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we've organised for him to fly up to Niue.
Is he coaching over there?
Yeah, he's going to be taking a few clinics. So we started high performance, or our version of high performance clinic up there. So yeah, out of that Pacific Youth Cup in January, we played, and we had a couple of guys over there. They started Niue Rugby Tōmotu. That's who's in charge. And our groups here align with them, and we organised for some players to come over. I said, hey, for me, never forget about the homeland.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear all the people smack talk, the islands this, the islands, but I'm about the youth. And I says, oh, look, boys become men and girls become women. We've got to play the long game, because when you're Niue, you don't have the big numbers like Samoa, Tonga, even in the Māoris. Massive numbers. They can, sounds one of the worst, but they can put a flag in the ground and guaranteed 50 players, because that's how much the jersey means to them. But with us, we had to reconnect with the our tangata Niue. This is not a new thing. This was dormant for a number of years. I jumped on board 2016, and then from there we've grown it to 550 registered players, and we pull players from everywhere. Start of the year, invited the Niuean boys to come over from Niue, and 5 of them made the trip. 3 of them got to play. 2 of them were development players. They came with their coach, who's the vice chairman. He believed in the vision, but he played Q Cup, so he's played in Aussie. He's gone back there to his building business. He's been running for the last 6 years. But yeah, when he came over, I took him to the Warriors. Went down to the SG board training. Took him to Auckland Rugby League, also New Zealand Rugby League, because these are the stakeholders we align with.
Yeah.
Niue. And we developed the program. So we meant to run 4 one-day clinics during the year, and then we select 2 boys that would be sponsored to come here to New Zealand. It's morphed to 4 boys, 3 plus 1. But the sign-ups, I think it was 35, 40 players out of the high school. There's only a population of 1,500 on the island. But there was nothing for the youth to have a direct access to us. And so, we designed the program because one thing I noticed as soon as they got here, and I told the coach, I said, mate, they're doing fitness. Like, these guys are coming off the island, they're puffing. I said, no. The way I put it to them is that your lungs are like our lungs when you get here off the plane. We're not doing fitness, bro. We're doing all ball work. It's all technical stuff now. You've already done all the hard work during the year. Man, they've been doing some fantastic training, in the sun. And I said that will benefit them, because hopefully it doesn't, rain again in January. We're playing at Navigation Home Stadium, and the sun will be pumping. So they should be used to it. But it's a lot of it's a real honour for those kids. And if there's any diehards listening, there'll be for the rugby they'll be a bit disappointed. But overnight, leagues take it over, like literally overnight, because we came through the youth. And back how things work back home, you look after the kids, the old people call the shots, the matuas. And the matuas straight away, oh, no, they look after my kids. And the word just spread. And it started with 4 one-day clinics. The next minute, my guy's in the high school every Friday, running coaching clinics, and then he was fortunate enough to run a coaches clinic where the teachers want to know how to coach rugby league now. They want to know what the rules are about, not having to watch a YouTube video or listen to someone. They want it to be shown, so my guy's doing that. And that's what Tony Edel's going to be doing for the whole week. But we've had to select the players so they can organise airfares. And we've ran a couple of fundraisers for them, the guys back home. But it's a big thing, these boys coming over here. So we're looking forward to it. One of the boys they put forward for under 15s, man, he went really well. Yeah, he was a winger. Got 2 tries against Tonga in the PYC. Even the Warriors were going, geez, are you sure he's from the island? Because he was fit. But that was the deal. Your lungs are like our lungs. Very proud. I spoke to his mother. His mother was fortunately a high school teacher. So there's 2 parts of these boys coming over. One, you have to meet all the requirements of the on-field, which is all your fitness in there. And the second part was actually be good at school. Attend class, do your schoolwork, because those opportunities back home, you've discipline. And straight away the teacher said, man, those boys that wanted those spots, they were behaving in class, turning up on time. They saw the attitude changes. And they'd bring all their stuff to class. Oh, yeah, cool, finish my work, we've got training. Boom, they're all there. Because there are a number of other activities, but, on our format for the under-18s, they play on TV. Fortunately this year we were unable to make it to a stadium, but the 24 we are. I mean, there's a lot of pride.
And that's January next year? Because I saw the ad when you posted up on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's
the Pacific Youth 2024.
Yeah, man, that's been going since 2017. And that's the reason why Niue, we arranged for Tony to go back to Niue, because he actually started it. And he brought us into the fold. That's the truth. Even though we kicked off 2016, I got called into a meeting, myself and some of the committee, everyone just dropped everything because, the Warriors, all new thing. And then, man, we were there in January 2017. We haven't forgotten that, and I always say this story, people are going to get, they can't deny it. We had Helium Lukey fly over from Cairns. I rang his house. I fluked it up. At that time, we were asked, we wanted elite players to try and give us a start. And I was just going through all the team lists. That's something I love doing, player identification and recruitment and retention, all of that. And then, I rang Helium's grandfather. Lucky I got put onto him, and they all paid his airfare and brought him over. One training, that's all he had with the team. Yeah. Man, and he was a second row. He ended up playing, he was that fit, he had to play fullback. Man, but he was a Queensland Schoolboys Maroon, but Stefan Holo, who actually made the Maroons with him, came too. There was a big talk on the tournament. They were going, man, come on, check out these. But Parramatta came down. I said, oh, no, these boys are spoken for. But we were trying to stand there and just act like, but inside, you're like, man, they're coming over to talk to us about, but other nations and other people on the ground were going, bro, is that true? You got 2 boys, man, like little Niue, and then, I still got the photos of both boys. They're both 6'3", and look at Helium now. And he ran out for Samoa, and, my Samoan friends, including the leader, pointed out, he was part Samoan, so he played for me first, brother.
Yeah.
And if the men's team were up and going, he's there too. But at that top level, there's a lot of requirements. Agents get involved. Unfortunately, they don't tell you any of this. NRL clubs do have a say. So, you've got to do a lot of work in the background to make the program that you got, like the coaches have to be accredited. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know in 2016, I know now. One thing I can say about our Pasifika people, we're fast learners. Oh, yeah. We like to learn the Palangi system real quick. Yeah, I've got a good friend, Tongan friend, that I do a lot of the work with, Hingi Fositua, he runs the Hakola. There are a couple of meetings we're not allowed to go to anymore. Because we go in and we have a listen. Okay, cool, that's how it works, eh? But it's all long-term planning. If you play the short game, you're going to get short-term results, eh? We play the long game, like I said, boys become men, girls become women. For this under-18s, we had over 50 register for the boys. The girls are not in that position. I'm about...
50 is a lot, eh, for Auckland?
Oh, Oh, no, everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So how many teams would you make up out of that? Is it depending on the numbers? And then
One team, one nation. Yeah. We don't want to dilute the authenticity of the tournament by having a and a B team.
Oh, so it's trial down 50 players.
There you go. Straight down to 20. Oh, well, with the 18s, we don't do a trial. It's handpicked. So, but, we let everyone know at the start of the year, here's our dates. Now, it's your obligation to make yourself fit. Get out to these games. We do have parents that contact us and say, when's the date? And then there's 3 of us on the recruitment team. Man, back in the day, it was only me. But there's 3 of us. I've got one rugby guy, and he'll go to the rugby games, 1A. And then we've got myself and one of the other committee, we go to the league games.
Oh, so it doesn't matter what union or league, as long as they're playing something, you can monitor their progress.
Yeah, because, it's no-brainer with a 1A system. The 1A rugby, as you know, is athletic. They've got full-time high-performance coaches. The system's well set up. So, they've already done half their homework before they get to me. But, can they transfer some of that into league? No, because defensive patterns are way different. But, we do that. But we do talk to some coaches. Some of them aren't really receptive to us. I understand that's the union league thing. But we use the Niuean network very, very well. We go to a lot of different people. But, we don't want to shut it off to those union families because they're tangata Niue. They're like us. They're proud and they want that opportunity. But the thing that one of the biggest things we've grown, is basically we don't take all the kids from the church or from the village, because that's where they all used to come from. And if you weren't part of that, they didn't, you're not Niuean. Well, what is Niuean? You tell me. Those are the things I've challenged them over the years, and 550 registered players from under 6 through to 18s.
I don't understand the thinking of that, the church and the schools. How does that work?
Well, if you think about it, when our people came here in the 60s and 70s, they all went to the PIC church. That was the big thing. And then outside of that, some branched off to the Catholic, Jehovah, Mamono. We had a lot of Mormons. But that was the focal point, eh? Everyone, attached to that, which is cool. And then you had the village games, and I look for the players outside of that, all the intermarriage and all of them, all the disconnected Niueans.
Right.
All the disconnected Niueans. And
is that just the goal to get them connected back to?
That's it. We've got a lot of funding this year from one particular fund just to try and we went to the Whangaho Niue Symposium, and I was the only sports guy there. I got a last minute invitation. Typical island, but luckily all my own people, but I got stuck at the front and I grabbed all the food and eating the food. Cousins looked at me and said, get up. So I was the last speaker. But I had already pitched this to the old board, and they all did the old. Not a yes, not a no, but it was silence. I went, yeah, that's a no. All I wanted to do was, you use the sports as another avenue to connect these kids with our culture and try and keep our language alive. Okay, I don't know what it looks like, but what I do have is people. That's the most important commodity. Yeah, we have the numbers. It's when you walk through my front door, you have to know your village. If you don't know your village, I say, should you be here? Okay, so I've broken it right down to that. It says, try and teach our language to these young kids coming through. Either be introductory, but the new board, they get it. But they just want to try and see what it looks like.
Because I can see them figure out, why do you want to do that? Why can't we just focus on our Niuean kids that are already in the culture, sort of thing? But then you got to capture the ones that outside the net, so to speak, right?
Well, 2 of the academics in the room said, man, I had a line for them. I said, look, my kids are the ones that still go outside and play with the ball. They're not the classroom kids, because a lot of the people pitching their stories were the kids that come and sit on the mat. Well, mine don't sit on the mat. They go outside and pass the ball around. So let's do a program, work together to try and capture these kids and get them to say, whakaroflai atu ki mitolosi. Haui maanga ha kupa wasale. So, hello, my name is, I'm from this village, with the kids, it's very important. And I out you in the circle. If you don't know your village, say, that's one, you don't know yours. And I do remember you. And I'll be back into, and I'll show up, and I won't tell anyone, and I'll come in, and I've heard it, hey, the village, bro, you're supposed to know it. They're whispering quickly and say, say it, okay, by the end, but before we play, everyone knows it. It's compulsory. And I've done it that way. And I can remember there's a lot of backstories in one particular trial we had.
A lot of pushback.
Oh, no, it was this one boy, he was Samoan. Didn't make the Samoan team, rocked up, and we did the circle, and he goes, oh, what village are you from? Oh, nah, I'm from Samoa, I'm Samoan. He was proud, which is cool. But I won't forget one of these Niuean kids that was locked in, just looked straight at him and said, bro, you're not Niuean. What are you doing here? Like, that was it, eh? So I knew that kid wants the jersey. He's not here to play. He's here to represent his mangafoa, his family. So yeah, they're the ones that we're trying to identify as the next 5 to 10 year player. So we play the long game that way. So if I get you in my jersey from under 6 and all that, you don't say no to me straight away. Because when we started this program, man, the no's came left and right. I was like, oh, nah. A lot of the part Niueans, which is basically 80% of our kids now, is all mixed culture, which is okay. But they have to know their roots as well. So we pass that on to the families. Yeah, and we don't get as many no's now. So as long as we keep building every year, running our program, all the engagement has to be positive. You know, our committee are heavily involved. I tell a lot of stories, backstories, but they're all true. I mean, you hear my voice, you see my face, and people go, "Oh, it's you." That's not me. It's a whole team of us. There's other guys that just don't like doing this. Not, but they are strong in their own, in their own field. And there's 5 of us at the moment on the committee. Casey Maida, she's our chairperson. Sam Patua, who's actually the original, who brought us all together. Myself, Sanita Petau, and Sterling Tongihilu, But we're actually part of a bigger movement, eh? And only the Niueans, the leagueies know this now. And so all these other nations are starting to click on. We're part of Niue Rugby in New Zealand. So I started that up just after COVID, just to keep everyone engaged. But we've got a Northland chapter run by Johnny Komito and Makasiafa. They cover from Wellsford up to Kaitaia. And then I've got Ben Rangiwha, which does all of the Waikato, a bit of the coastline there. And Berna Lukitau, which does Wellington. Just recently, I was in Christchurch for their version of the PYC, Pacific Series. And yeah, my poor people down there, they haven't got an actual group like up here. The only reason it's worked in these areas is they actually have a Niuean classes. And, it's Auckland's one thing, but when you go to the regions, it's very different. You don't play on Sunday. Old Auckland boy thought he could go up to Whangarei and go, we play on Sunday. And I got told, we don't play on Sunday up here, brother. They still hold on to those traditional, Auckland. Yeah, we play every day. Yeah. And no one really cared.
You got your masters on Sundays.
Oh, man. Yeah, that too. And when we played up in Whangarei, I saw, about like 300 people. Like, I went, this is an okay crowd. Man, they said it was bigger than the grand final up there. He goes, what? And he goes, yep. And I noticed a lot of people came in their church clothes. Samoan and Tongans came just to have a watch. Because nothing happens for the Pasifika people up there. We're planning on going back up there. But, these days, it's not, money is the biggest thing, but the second is your time. You only got so much time in the day, so you have to make it count. And we're all volunteers, none of us get paid, but it's actually turned into a full-time job, and you're actually applying a lot of business practices to this thing now. But, if it's run properly, people have a positive engagement, they'll be back. And they will defend you no matter what,
You guys get funding of any kind?
Yeah, we do. Not a lot of it. Not a lot of funding. Oh no, look, yes we do, but it just covers uniforms, sporting equipment. We did get some to run the language classes as a pilot. That's new for us. But in terms of trying to get us, funding for full-time wages, nah, not yet. I've tried, but we are a minority Pacific community. So basically, sponsorship's the biggest thing that we're chasing at the moment.
So how you identified the kids and the lack of culture and the kids that are like half caste, Niueans, like
quarter everything. So
you've identified that. Like, what during your experience? Like, how did you identify that? What was happening in the Niuean community, especially the community that live here in New Zealand? I know the Samoan community here, like for history, like I like to think our culture is strong here, and but I think the problem is the next generation is going to be that will lack the language and stuff like that. But there are stuff that are put in place, like we have Niue classes, we teach how to be a chief and talk like a chief and all that kind of stuff. Like for New Zealand borns, like there's proper classes here to do
online
that.
too, eh?
Yeah, online and that.
I know a guy that does it.
Yeah, Tanwai, like he does it. But you know that's our kind of like that's a problem that we've identified as a Samoan community. We try to attack it with our culture and stuff. But for you guys, for Niueans, is it just the culture just escaping the next generation of kids coming up? And because I remember when I was at school, the joke was talk that Niue is a place that there's more Niueans in New Zealand than in Niue. But I think right now it's true. But I think right now you can say that anywhere in Tonga and Samoa, you know. But I think when I was in high school, that was the thing, you know. But yeah, how did you sort of like? Is that the same? Is that the same kind of thing? Is that the same kind of struggle?
Yeah, I actually attended a Niuean language class for beginners. I did a whole year of it. I need to go back and do it again. But it was good to do tala wangahau Niuea. But the tutor, who's actually Lynn Bavihi, who's Samoan Niuean actually, she actually, her delivery was different from other tutors where they teach you the actual language. She teaches you the language and the culture. And she explains why we do certain customs. And she even gives you the reality check of what it's like to be a tangata Niue living in New Zealand as opposed to the one living in Niue. You know, and she'll be pretty open about politics and things like that. And that's what I resonated with. And that's where I picked up a lot of these ideas. I'm a full Niuean. You know, both my parents are full Niuean, but we have, you know, other, you know, bloodlines. But we identify purely Niuean. That's the way I am. My children aren't, you know. They're Kokoala Māori. My wife, she's Māori Kokoala, you know, more to her Māori side. But, you know, I only take my kids to their cultures, you know. And then I could identify it, you know, like the kids that were on the outside, you know, man, this isn't right. Okay, we'll bring them in slowly. And then I'd heard any cultures like that, you hear the old ladies, even the ladies, females, many of them, and they're talking Niuean. I don't know what they're saying. Oh, are they Niuean? Because they look Niuean. Who's their family? You know, and some of those things I don't like. You know, but they are entitled to do that. You know, if you're older than me, I always give you that respect. Especially our matos. But half the time they're wrong. You know, but when it starts coming out, they're so and so. They go, oh, because intermarriage is everywhere, brother. You know, and before COVID, it was family reunions. I used to hang around for those. And our own family had one, and our Samoan bloodline showed up, and I saw one of the best. Well, he was the third best hooker in New Zealand. Come walking through, and went, yeah. Went straight over, shook the mother's hand, and she goes, "Oh, he goes, oh, you here too? Oh, cool." And I'm looking at the son, not even talking to her. But when everyone had that online, I'd always contact someone if I knew them. Hey, and they'll tell me, "Oh, we got so and so coming." You know, and some of the names they dropped to us, you know. I went, ooh. But you know, when you get the higher you get in the game, you have to, you know, pull out the stuff from back home. Yeah. So to go to the international, it's your grandparent at the moment. But I know, because I'm part of the international stuff, that the Cook Islands have got a submission going in for great grandparents, because they're finding that a lot of the, you know, just like you said, half the island's probably non-cooks now. They're living off it. Within a generation, it's going to be gone. 2 generations, how are you supposed to? And there's that group of players that fall into the great grandparents is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're not going to make the New Zealand team, you know. And that's our whole game. That's even my sales pitch. You know, this year's one, it's I go to the families, and you're my first pick. You're not my second pick. You know, and because the Māoris they probably run one of the best systems around. They get players that are flying from Australia, you know, tangata whenua. I go to their national tournaments, and it's a real big thing to name their tournament team. My daughter played in it. It's a real massive down Rotorua, and they run under 13s and 15 boys, and you got the girls. And from those tournament teams, that's the NZ Māori team for PYC. So I sit there and I have a look, and I've got a fair idea who the Niueans are. As soon as they don't make the team, I'm straight over in the crowd. shake the hands. Oh, yeah, all good. You play for me now. And you take your opportunity, but I'll make the family, bro, you're my first pick. You were never my second. You're not a shadow squad member to be called in as cover. No, you run the team right now, today. And that resonated, and I have to admit, a lot of the Niuean Māoris, they bought into them like that. No, you're right. My kid's number one. You know, and if I get a chance to talk to the old people, man, I'm really in. Because they like to hear that. But you got to respect it these days, eh? It's like, dad could be Samoan Māori, you know. Mum's only just a quarter or half, you know, so you're going to go to those bigger nations. That's fine. That's fine. This year was pretty big for us because we actually changed our program. You know, strategically, we ran our trials after the Samoan trial, and wow, all the numbers just went boom. And I screened every player. I wasn't going to do any of our families like that, you know, and because there were a couple of questions, and, you know, I paper thin. I think there was one boy who was pretty paper thin, and then he was the shock for me. I won't say his name or the grade. The Niueans all showed up to the tournament. And I said, oh, hey, Cuzzy. He's a cool Cuzzy. Who are you here for? Oh, so-and-so. What's he to you? He goes, oh, no, that's our family. So I'm on line. I went, Jesus. You know, and then from there I knew that, you know what I mean? It was the kid who had no idea. He's like, oh, okay, then cool. And he was the slowest to learn the haka, but the father, I just noticed he was part of everything. He was cleaning up, you know, so proud. You know, and gave me the story. I didn't want to pick my son. Like, hey, kid, come here. From now on, Phil. You know, and the culture is the big thing. You know, you've done this well in footy to get this far. Okay, now it's our turn to do the culture. But in saying that, we've got to have quality coaches, eh? It's not have a go day. I've done it, you know, with a committee. Yeah, oh yeah, bro, you can coach the team. Oh yeah. Now you know we've got a director of coaching. You know, so that this year we appointed a director of coaching. We check everyone's coaching certificates. You've got to be active. Not, I coached 10 years ago. No. You know, we need everything's strategic with us. So if you're active coach in the grade, that means the kids know you. Or if you're part of the rep scene, then you know how the rep scene works. So we take the best of each. But you know, smallest nation at the table, but we've got a team in every grade. What numbers? You know, I say this all the time, you know, and we played in t-shirts for 2 years. True story. Anyone from 2016-17 remembers all the originals, and I called them t-shirt kids. The last of them are coming through now. You know, we've got one boy running around PYC, and they're the old memory in the heart, you know, man, he was in t-shirt, and they stayed with us too. Yeah. So, be honest, brother, everyone laughed when we played in t-shirts. There were people that laughed, even my own lot, you know. I still got the screenshots today. But it's not bitterness now, it's just motivation. You know, you always remember the hard times in life and where you come from, you know, humble beginnings. And yeah, we still got the same t-shirt design with the Niue print at the front, the shield. Yeah, still got that. But we used to put a number on the back and the kids would play in that. Because I refused to charge families 150, you know, stuff like that, 200. What for uniform? They'll grow out of that. You know, no. So we'll just organise. But, you know, now we've got apparel, you know, apparel supplier now. We're signing 3 deals.
Oh, yeah.
From t-shirts to that, you know. And, you know, I mean, the first senior kits, we paid for it out of our own pockets. Everyone chipped in. Yeah, we started off with Battle of the City. It was our flagship event, man.
So what happened there, the Battle of the City?
It was run like Origin. But it actually grew legs and ran away from us. Because part of the committee lived out west. So they were part of the Okalana team. And the rest of us were all part of the counties. So we ran it like that.
So south and west?
Yeah, south and west. Oh, brother. Anyone that was at that game, and in this video footage, the crowd would have been 700-800, which is big for the Niueans. I mean, people were pulling up on the side of the road coming in. So I spoke to them, you know, because we're heavily involved grassroots, and they'll come up. Man, there were 3 big punch-ups. Man. And the guy who started the first punch-up, he's still with me as a trainer. He come back, but, you know, he's a bit of passion, but he still remembers it. But
if you think about it, like when it comes to Pacifica in Auckland, especially, it's always the rivalry between, not rivalry, but there's always a west versus south thing. Hey, always
true story.
Even with the families, you got cousins that live both sides and always tease each other. And all through the years, like growing up, it's like a thing. It's like a thing. But to have like a state of origin or city of origin or west versus south origin, if you think of state of origin back in Australia, like Queensland, they hate New South Wales and vice versa. So there's a passion there. Like that rivalry passion for West and South is there too. So it makes sense to have a competition like that to represent both West and South and have a free game series. Is this a free game series?
No, it was a one-off game.
Oh, yep.
We played the mods. Counties took all the mods. And that's where I heard some early comments, bro, these Niuean kids, looking at them. But they were intermarriage. I knew how it worked. Then the seniors came out. Auckland took the seniors, but like I said, 3 big punch-ups. I mean, it was good. But, it's also family-friendly. There's got to be no drinking on the side. And, man, these guys, they're French. They knew how to talk French, all right.
Yeah.
And then I still remember one of the old ladies, she was swearing at one of the players. I had to get with my own nephew. And he turned around and he told her what was up to. And I went, oh, just how old people. But, man, but I talked to some of the old people. That's how it was in the islands. I said, cool, in your time. Because, now it's going to be, because a lot of ARL officials are there. So we cleaned it up the second year. But then the boys didn't want to play each other anymore.
Oh, what was that?
Because we united. That was the whole thing of this, is to bring us all together. And it's not South Auckland, West Auckland, it's Niue. Because we're too small to be divided. But if we come together, we're stronger. It's like a hand, eh? And when the hand goes like that, eh? So that's how we do things. And we're all very transparent, and we talk to everyone. And I treat everyone the same. I talk to all the West Auckland clubs, all the same. When it comes to Niue. My club is Mangere East. Love it to death. Loyal to it. But when it comes to the nation, Niue all the way. And I don't care if you play Mount Albert, Waitemata or Hawks, you're under our banner now. But and it worked because that was a good kickstart, that Battle of the City. Good memories. Don't get me wrong. You remember where you started. Couldn't afford funding for rubbish bins then, so we bought all the rubbish bins from our house.
Yeah.
Just threw it on my van, and we put them all around. And at the end, we were picking up the rubbish out of the committee, and I think back, wow, man, look at this.
Do what you gotta do, eh?
Yeah, man. and now we get funding for rubbish bins. We get waste management attendants. So you just go around, they get paid. They'll just go around and pick all the rubbish up. So you remember all those times. But like I said, we started in the early days, 7 years. So 550. No girls teams. It was pretty special this year.
What's the name of the organisation again?
Auckland Niue Rugby League. So when we started up, it was just us over here. Typical, and then usually, you get your detractors, they, won't work. 7 years later, brother. Game changer for us is we signed a deal with the Warriors last year.
To be like a feeder?
Yep, we're part of the Pacifica Aotearoa Collective.
So what's that?
221, Māoris, Niue, Tonga, Tokelau, and Fiji and Cook Islands. We all signed a MOU.
Samoa's not in it?
They came pretty much, for whatever reason, the leadership, he just saw things differently, but then within 12
I wonder if it's got to do with aligning with Toa Samoa, I think. Do you think it's got to do with that?
I just don't sit in the car. We call it car park talk.
Oh, right.
It's car park. That's our favourite line amongst the leaders. So, you're in the car park again, brother. Is where all the stories happen. So, whatever he said, she said, I'm not too sure. But the leader now, they're fully on board. And then from there, we just started pulling the tournaments in, the PYC. Because we ran the girls. We had to go with the boys. But now under one banner. And then Warriors showed up. We looked after them at North Harbour Stadium last year. We took it out of the clubs and we went to the 18s. We took it to the Sky TV. Myself and Hingi Fusatu, the Tonga guy. And we were the first tournament in the country. This is a true story. They got sanctioning to play during COVID. It was like we had to have security on the gate, North Harbour Stadium, and shut it off. No families, and man, there were some families outside on the fence. But those boys, they wouldn't forget it. But then from there, within 12 months, we were the Warriors. 2 years, yeah. And we dealt with Cameron George, And I say this because I was part of that meeting. We actually went in there, now I'm telling the backstories, going over to look for some jackets. Because I had gone into the Warriors Foundation and Lincoln Jeffries, good guy, real good guy. He's the CEO, or GM. And he gave me some prizes for our girls rugby league tournament. So we were starting that up. That's going to be the next big thing. Cool. And then, let's get a top-up, we'll go back in. We went in there December last year. Ironically, it's this week we signed. But, I think 2 weeks earlier we went in there. asking for jackets, and man, Cameron just sat down and it was business. Yeah, but what people don't know about him is that he's actually half Lebanese. And for me as tangata Niue, he started talking about his village, and I was like, whoa. And he was telling me the name of his village. It's some bloody hill up, some stony hill. But he stood in the middle of his village where his father was from. He was telling me. Myself, Hingy, and JD, John Devonshire. And for me, as Niue, I went back and says, man, this guy gets our village mentality, you know. Regardless of what people say about him, he's still got a job to do. But he sat down and had the, talked about village. And then next thing, within that afternoon, bro, there was a contract sitting in the inbox. 3 pages. Holy heck. We've gone from that to this, and it just took us to another level. But you look through all the hard struggles.
Yeah, so they'll fund certain things when you guys have tournaments. So they get their scouts in to watch the kids.
They're an official partner. What they don't want is the Australian clubs over here and just treating this like a milk and honey. Because I heard that line, the land of milk and honey, and and some of our Pacifica kids, whatever angle. I've been doing club many years, so I've seen the broken dreams. And from us now, we support these children. We tell them what's up early. And then from the tournaments we ran, when we did one of the presentations we did for them, 10 NRL players that have come through, played for their nations, are now playing NRL. And they have not forgotten the jersey where we started, And the Warriors were actually the original ones of the Pacific Youth Cup. Tony Edel was one of him, and Jordan Friend were the originals. But then, when the ownership change happened of Auckland Rugby League, Auckland Rugby dropped it altogether. Myself and Hingy kept it alive. It was on life support. We kept it alive. We took it to Alton Mesty. Oh no, Sturgis Park, Haruhu College. Won't forget it. We were still picking up rubbish back then. Doing all those things, but paying the refs directly. But we kept it alive, built, and then.
So between Auckland Rugby League and New Zealand Warriors, in between that time, it was just you guys by yourselves?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. How long was that period for?
Would have been 3 years,
oh, wow.
4 years.
Okay.
But it's a real big factor that swung our way was NZ Māori. He was there at the start at 17 when the ownership change happened. He was reluctant to start the juniors. And they run the 13s and that for their Māori tournaments, name a paper team. And they might get a game against some touring team from Aussie, something like that. But to take us on board, Pacifica, was pretty big. And I remember what the leader said, because the perception of Islanders administration was, it's easy for us to go outside and throw a punch than actually sit down and talk about it. And actually, where's the contract? You got to do the black and white stuff. But it took him 2 years. And then he brought the Māoris in. The whole tournament changed. It just changed overnight because half of his team don't come from Auckland. They pick their teams from everywhere. It's getting more and more now. And for those Māoris, that they come to our tournament to play the best of the best. When they play me, we'll go out there, but we're pulling players from everywhere now.
Including Niue?
From Niue. For my girls, I've got one coming from Invercargill, another one from Christchurch, Taranaki, 3 out of the far north. Up Rawini, Kaikoui. Yeah, some out of Brisbane. They're coming from everywhere. Waikato. The boys are pretty similar. I've got one boy coming from Whirianga, another one from Taranaki. So it's not an Auckland thing. Even though I represent Auckland Niue Rugby League, but we're part of Northland Niuean. But we report directly back to Niue. And the relationship is so strong. We helped build the first rugby league field up there. Yeah. Again, a part of Niuean, it was able to help get us some posts. And then COVID hit. Man, I thought it was all over. We had them in a yard. And it sat in there for a year. And then finally when things opened up, we got them out up Niue. And they launched the first rugby league field. And then they thought, how far is this going to go? And then league back home's just taken, And with this kid thing, it's massive now.
So was that during COVID that league took over the island?
No, 2021.
Oh, okay. And it was just
21?
off the back of the work that Tony has done over there, or
no.
because there were
They're already there. They had a committee there. So they had a bit of a restructure and had to elect a new board. And so we toured there in 2019. Some of the committee members, we'll go up there, but, I don't mind doing things. It's always a pilot with me. So if it goes wrong, then, we ain't going to do that again.
Yeah.
Or we'll change it up, because it's Niue. You got to think like that, think a couple of steps ahead. And so, we had a meeting with the board back there, them board, and then they had an election, and then a lot of the board members changed. But one of them is Zach Smith, the current president, who actually played Ron Massey Cup in Australia, moved back to Niue, and he actually played in the Niue Rugby League team that started up again in New South Wales, Sydney. And so he had a bit of knowledge of that, had a bit of knowledge of us, and then we just grew from there. Just formalised things. At the end of the day, the admin and the on and off field go hand in hand. I'm sorry, some of our people say, take the politics out. I'm sorry, politics is part of it, man. Because that's the admin. That's the negotiating and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, the perception of Highlanders, we're not very, but that's not true. Like I said, we're fast learners real quickly. Okay, cool. Now we know he's the right guy to talk to. Okay, now we've got to fill out these forms. We've gone from to strap plans now. So we've got strategic plans in place for the guys back home. Organisational structure. We've had to introduce all of that now. So everyone knows. We all report to someone. I make that quite clear. So we report back to the guys back home. And it's like, how do you report to them? So, email, photos, video. It's not hard. You're not hiding anything. And if you're running things properly, like I said, one thing I noticed of Pacifico, any culture, comes time for the money, they all go, hey, where's the paperwork? Where's the financial statement? And we just send that back up home. Just have a look. There's all the money. That's what we got in. And they're okay about it. But the main thing with the guys back home is just tell us what's happening. A big thing for 224 for Niue Rugby League, Auckland, all of us is unity. That is it. We're going to unite. Having Brisbane over here on its own, New South on its own, doesn't work. We all got to come together.
And this just happened this year, isn't it?
No, it's the Cold War. I think that's what you learn in history at school. Is Cold War is no different. I mean, the Australian lot, fair enough, but I think there's a lot of them now. They just want to be part of this, and then there are those that are level-headed to see that the growth that we're going through the youth. But we always tell them it's the long term. The better players that I have here, half of them are going to Aussie, so I want them to have a connection to the jersey over there. So that's what we're trying to do. Unfortunately, there's going to be a generational change. It happens in life, but it's going to happen. I think some of our community leaders, I think they deserve to be there, but as a matua, time to hand that over to us. We need to run things this way, this particular way, to get the old way of doing things, and said, don't forget to tell your bonus tickets. Okay, your raffle tickets. It's gone now. Man, don't forget social tickets. Don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting that.
But it's just the usual. Easy for us Islanders to
I was there.
pull these things.
I'm one of them. I was the liquor hamper guy. I loved it. Like 6 years ago, for club.
The liquor hamper.
100 tickets, $20 a ticket, and then all the prizes were donated, man, and cook $2,000 or whatever, So, but the thing with our chairperson now, she was a big advocate to move away from that. She said no. When her time came for leadership, that was one of the first things she said, no, we're out. No more standing at the pub taking ticket money. Is it coming through dealing with drunks, Like, yeah, fair enough. We're going to try something different. And don't get me wrong, the codes still do it. It was cool. But for us, that's what we've pulled it back a certain way. We've gone down the funding route.
It's probably a good thing, just to set an example, because you're right, man. We've got to get away from the gambling part of the fundraising, man.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's a normal thing to do, eh? Like, if you think about it, the raffles.
Oh, hey,
everybody does it.
When I was at primary, what I remember, two tickets.
Two tickets. Even the bonus spawn on Lotto. But have you noticed, now then, when family members or friends come approach you with stuff like that, you go, oh man, not again. $20. Oh.
And it's anything now. Yeah. We attend funerals, anything else. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in our sports space, that's the way we've gone. But yeah, this year we're selling jersey sponsorship on the front of the jersey. So any of your listeners, was 10,000, 20,000 listeners, look, we're selling our jerseys at $350. So we're playing on Sky at a stadium, but help the kids, front of the jersey, and you get your own free jersey. So as part of that sponsorship, there you go. 1 to 17 jersey numbers. We've sold a couple, yeah. But we've got 2 teams this year, boys and girls.
You know what? We should bring back the food plates. We should bring that back.
We've actually done it. It's a lot of work.
I know it's a lot of work. That's why we do the bonus.
Man, that's why I took off from it, man.
That's why we do the bonus and tickets, because it's easy. But nah, man. Instead of the gambling thing, like you're gonna throw away your $20, you might not win.
Oh,
how about exchange a $12, $20 for some food, man?
How about when you run out of food to fill the plates? Yeah. I know there's some guys listening, they catch me in the committee goes, did you have to say that? And I said, hey, it was your idea to get this other person to help serve, and they started filling up their plates for their families. Like, you ran out of meat. Like, come on, brother. At the end of the day, yeah. We try to get some funding for the hangi cookers. Right. I was willing to give that a go because I saw some Māori organisations do it. And I went, man, not bad, eh? They put 100 hangis in, $20 each for the kids. Oh, that's a bit of profit, but when you think about it, they're in areas where there's a lot of gardens, so they get the veggies all donated, so stuff like that. But when you're urban, you got to think a bit more out of the square. Yeah. So, look, we are about to announce our latest fundraiser. So basically, we're going to be doing KiwiSaver.
KiwiSaver?
It's KiwiSaver seminars. It's part of a fundraiser. Yes, that's a new initiative. The proposal just hit my table last week. So once we discuss that at our table, and we'll be looking at that. So basically, the Kiwi Saver broker comes in, and every person that signs up, the sports organisation gets a percentage. So that's something different.
So it's just like an education thing?
Yeah, basically that, because only 60% know about their Kiwi Saver, so there's an extra percent, so it doesn't know.
When was the last time you checked your Kiwi Saver?
Oh, brother, I'll leave it to the wife. But these are for new ones to sign up, to have a look at it. So I thought, man, it ain't a social, and we ain't doing food plates, okay, let's try this. And it actually is a Zoom, so it's all done virtually. You don't need to grab them and get them in the room. Yeah. Because people's time now, fuel prices. I look at everything, bro. I filled up on the way here. So just like I said, strategically thinking. So when they're playing, hit my table, I went, okay, man, this sounds good. All right. So support that, to all your listeners. But the jersey thing's a big thing for us. We've sold a couple, but the money just goes straight back into the kids. Basically, the food budget. We got 2 teams this year. Start of the year, we had 1. We're going into camp 5 days. It's something that we watched with the Māoris do very, very well. Right. I can see why they stress out, but they actually get the results. Yeah. But
they've given you like the blueprint in some ways.
Well, the smarter ones can pick up pretty quickly. Like I said, we're fast learners, and I was fortunate enough to be invited by their chairman into their camp. He had me sit with their selectors, and I didn't, man, it was basically like a Kiwi setup. They had a team of selectors on each grade, and every day they have a debrief, and if you came back and there wasn't 17 names on your list, you get told off. That means you were in the crowd talking, gossiping. You're meant to be watching games. Because when you pick their NZ Māori team, now that team's meant to, get to play wherever, and they're meant to win. And if you don't win, they all look at the selector, like they'll take a try or 2-point loss. But if you're talking 3 tries, like, someone's in trouble, Right. But they got a very good system. They don't pay their people, but they pay for their accommodation and their meals. Man, they eat quite well. But when I saw, I've done 2 stints with them, and I picked up enough, and that's where I want to take Niue. We took the best of what they had.
So how do they select? Is it just by just selecting all year?
No, they run a national tournament. It's a big thing. It's the Māori Nationals, the biggest in the country actually for their cultural space.
And they pick the team from that.
Oh, from there.
So it's like a massive trial.
Yeah, well, tangata whenua, they get people coming in from Australia. They had New South Wales, Queensland. So I took my daughter there. She played against Isaac Luke's daughter. Man, she was good. Man, stepped my daughter first, got a try. My daughter, second time, flew out of the line, cracked her. Had to. And then she switched sides. Just smart play, fathers coached it well. I had to laugh. She came with a Queensland Māori team, and they won it. They were just too slick. But they were there as part of the culture. Culture's the thing. And so I went, man, why can't we do that as Niueans? Why can't we appeal to those families? But our thing is we start early. So we did a Fly the Flag challenge, and that was the biggest social media engagement we've ever had. Outside of the PYC wins, which go around about 400, we did a $100 voucher for the best county south team, which is Counties Manukau, and the best Okalana, which is Central West. And the engagement was massive. So all they had to do was just do a thumbs up, and take the best team photo with the flag. So we run a Niue Cook Island Day, and you had to take their photo that day, and just the experience. But then to look at the kids and then talk to the families, we've got them for the next 3 to 4 years. So when I come and talk to you at under 13s, when it's competition, it's not a no straight away. Or sometimes we're finding out it's a yes. I said, no, man, I'm sticking with Niue. And the parents go, no.
But this is outside the club game, right? It's outside
very.
the club season.
Oh, very. With my club, 50 teams. Hawks is one of the biggest among these. And I'm quite proud of that, but, I know what it's like to come from a big tonga, Samoa. Come down to Niue. And I'm at one of the smaller clubs in the city. I don't want to name them, I might get offended. But, all of a sudden, but then we fielded 23 teams this year.
Wow.
Which is pretty good for us. 23 teams, as I said, 550 registered. Our trials are massive. We ran 2 trials. And we're actually going to reevaluate that now too. We had a review of our coaches. A few of them, we selected them. We're going to try and put them into high performance training. Because it's not only about the player, it's also about the coach too. We want them to upskill. There's opportunities, hence the Warriors. We're going to them. And that was all part of our agreement.
Yeah.
Look, I just don't want us to be a supermarket and the Islanders looked at it like that. Because those Aussie clubs come over and they got sweet words. They'll tell you what you want to hear. But where's the after-match care, for those kids? And the families don't know what they're getting themselves into. Player agents are debatable. I mean, if any of them get a hold of this, they might be a bit sideways at me, but they just take. They don't give. I ain't seen much of them give back to us. And we put these tournaments on. Like I can remember the Titans and Roosters. I'll name them. Broncos at the Bay Roskilde tournament we just ran. And they thought it was smiling away. And I thought, man, I could be ugly and just throw them out. Throw them over the fence. You can go sit in the crowd, bro. Because he gave us nothing. And all good, bro. And says, nah, it's not all good in my head, Brent Webb had the Roosters over here. Daniel Anderson was here and we beat them last year. And straight away they were saying, these kids are contracted players. Are they the right? Because Ando went nuts, bro. He went nuts when they lost. We were played at Sacred Heart College in the rain. The Warriors gave us the uniform. Kepi was there. Tony Edel, Athens, Hinare, Grant Pocklington. They're the main four. They're the main four. And, man, if we had lost, they would have taken off. Nah, they stayed in the rain with us too, man. And then Ando sends the trainer over, or Webby sends him over and tells the ref, hey, Webby wants you to go 5 more minutes, bro. We went off. But JD, man, I've never seen that man go nuts. He went nuts. And he's the Māori lady. He was talking French. Nah, bro, nah. And jandals in the rain. And we won. We were leading from start to finish. But these were the kids that weren't contracted. Out of that, a few of them got signed up. The ones that were contracted, they were like the Broncos or something like that. Yeah. So they were travelling like Marley Igerson. I met him from Tauranga. Wonderful kid. I hope he goes somewhere in the game because his attitude was right. Very polite. Talk to the boys as boys. His teammates. But, when you have a bit of that engagement, I'm thinking, man. And I see one of my usos running the trainer over there. Want to talk to me after the game? I was going, bro, what's going on here? Man. You're just trying to brush it off. But like I said, we left from start to finish. And they came off the back of a 4-day camp. So you think about it, NRL clubs feeding resources over here, and then they've lost to Pack. Who's Pack? Our nickname's Wolfpack. He goes the Wolfpack guys. Fast learners, brother. Fast learners. And we played the Warriors this year, and is this part of our partnership? They changed the rules at the last minute. I don't care what they say. It's not about the kids' fields. No. You only got your SG ball boys to come down and play. And but just the fact that the boys get to represent Pacifica and Māori. We played the Warriors last week in our first partnership day. and the under-14s did a haka, and it's online. You can find it. I'll send it to you through Messenger, and they had all the cultures in there. It was beautiful, man. I've only seen Southern Cross Campus do that, where they sing a song and then they start doing the actions. These boys did the Samoan to the Tongan to the they started with Fijian, and they went like Niuean was the last. And I thought, man, that meant a lot of meaning. You know, unfortunately they lost that game. We just went down by 2 points in the 15s. But yeah, no, it's the cultural experience, because when I've spoken from my experience over the years and talking to the NRL guys, they find that the players here play with more passion in the culture tournaments than, say, like, I take nothing away from the mainstream nationals like NZRL stuff, but it's robot footy. It's all structure, you know. But man, with our stuff, man, I've watched a kid, Samoan kid actually, chip kick for himself in the 20 and run the length of the field. Regather, run the length, or, you know, in the red zone, they just kick off and then they're just handing it straight away, you know. Something out of nothing. And that's the creativity, but that's the passion in the jersey. And then I talked to Tigers or Bulldogs. Yeah. They knew some of the kids, and they go, man, that kid doesn't play like that in the nets. I just saw him 2 weeks earlier. But he comes to your thing, man, here comes the Hulk, the Saiyan. You know, the injury rate is quite high. But then when you actually watch the game, you know, because, you know, in Aussie they teach you run the hole, not the man. If you're a prop, you know, run it straight over here, like, I'm coming at you. Second hit up, yeah, at you again. You know, I played some Māori boys from Brizzy that came at PYC, and you know, one boy in our team was from Brizzy. He played with these 4 other boys, and they were just having a chat, talking. Man, they said, oh, it's slow here, but man, it's physical. And, you know, they like to talk a bit of banter and then talk it up, but so do our lot.
Yeah.
You know, and they played Tonga and just went down they were only won by a try, and they were like, oh, you know, second, because they got sucked into the, come on, bro, you're waiting, come on, Tawa. Man, those Tongans ran over them. They just had a bit more in the shift. Yeah. But
Would you say that the different styles, you know, when you're talking about the Auckland game and the Pacific games, because we're more free throwing, eh?
Very, brother, very.
Versus being structure and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we do structure, but we like to freestyle a little bit.
Oh, very. I find some players, no matter what nationality, it's the haka. The minute they start doing that, then whoa, really into it, and they actually, the on switch goes then, and they're playing like that, you know, from kickoff or wherever, you know, and it's the cultural thing, you know. But you actually got to plant all those seeds and nurture it over, you know. And what we've found, it's not the couple of weeks of training before, you know, it's actually years. Hence why we tell all our kids now to play for a club. Rugby union, preferably league, you know, preferably league. But if you're going union, that's cool. But they do ripper at a young age. It's, you know, just get a bit of contact.
Yeah, what is up with that? You get the ripper in union, but in league you can tackle that age.
It's tough for me, brother, because I live in a league area. Like where I live in Auckland, you know, the local league club got to get, you know, superstar coaches in and get the Blues, the All Blacks to come. No, we don't get Warriors, nothing. But, you know, where the Hawks are, you got Pepito Panthers, Manukau Magpies. There's like 5 clubs, Otara Scorpions, Otahu. Man, we're strong. You know, just in that little circle there. But there's a lot of Pacifica. Hey, the numbers are massive, and we go right through the grades, and you find out all those same kids are the ones playing in the nations. You know, I think one of our mini mod tournaments, 120 teams, easy. You know, but luckily it's only a 1-day event. But it's a lot of work to get up to there one day. But you know, make it enjoyable when you get to the fields. It's, man, we pack it out. You know, and I've watched the union system, and yeah, I think they're behind in that personally. But there's some good people that I've learnt. But yeah, I just think I think they've still got a long way to go to make it inclusive. Like I was challenged about this a few weeks ago in a meeting. With another code, and I just said, well, you tell me another Māori Pacifica organisation that signed a partnership deal with a professional sports club.
I can see NZR doing that to any.
Yeah, you see,
Anyone, yeah.
hey. And like they go real dead quiet, and I says, you tell me. And we never dealt with the guy that we dealt with, the one that, there's only one other fella he reports to, just the owner. Hey, Cameron George only reports to Robson, you know. I said, but you know, that fella that challenged me kind of went, you know, there's crickets now, you know. I said to him, I'm only telling you the truth, eh? Now, including that Australian lot, you tell me how many of them signed a deal with Manly or the Broncos, an actual deal where they're treated as an equal partner. Look, man, we're 1 year in, and they've treated us really well with a lot of respect. And the word we always hammer home at the meetings is partnership. Let's just discuss, you know, what grades we're running for next year, what are the dates. We get fencing. I think you might have come out and we've seen we had fencing around one field, on our main field. Well, the Warriors are inside the fence. We kick everyone else out. You know, and next one, will be happen again. You know, you can go sit up in the in the bleachers, bro. You're out. Agents to NRL clubs. I understand that they can give them another opportunity, but man, we've put this on. We came from nothing, and the Warriors have believed in the investment. But don't get me wrong, it's been a roller coaster the last 7 years. I mean, you know, they even said no to us a few times.
The Warriors.
Oh no, Auckland Rugby League,
Oh,
NZRL.
yeah.
It was just, you know, pull from pillar to post.
Because what's the politics behind that? NZRL, Auckland Rugby League, and New Zealand Warriors.
What you read in the media is probably true. It's the Gaza Strip. You got three of in one street. You have the three big organisations for rugby league in the country, and they don't talk. Yeah, and the problem is our Pacifica guys. We got relationships at all three, bro. We're moving between all three. You know, it's been good. It's been good. They want to work with us instead of having too many cowboys. That's what we shut out. Was the cowboy organisations, and we can't stop them from flying a flag. But some people, what we found, and I put it out there, is that those people running it, it's only for their kids. They don't think about the kids coming through. They only want their kid right here and now to be looked after. And when that kid gets too old, they move on, and where's the organisation? It's gone. You know, but what about the families that sold the dreams to you? Well, I know how this works, because I've seen it, and some of those families, they come back.
Oh, wow.
They've come back to the fold, to these other, you know, we talk, the leaders talk, and are they back? Because, but might not be the same status, but no one turns kids away. Eh? That's one rule that Niue makes. And we always advocate our partners, you know, whatever's happened in the past, you know, don't turn the kids away. If the parents made a wrong choice, cool, you go sit in the crowd. I think your days of holding the clipboard are over now. You know, just those little, you know, keep things real, eh? I do. But, the other nations have that problem, not like us. We're small as it is. And one thing I'm blessed is that our community, now they're very open-minded. They understand this is the vision and this is the direction that we need to go in. If we want to be fractured, we'll be nothing, you know. When I started Niue in 2015, I got a phone call from Sam, our originals. He was on his own. He was just the club coach, really. I had an under-20s team. We went to the Toa Samoa tournament in Bruce Pullman Park that year. We won that tournament. We won that section. It shocked a few people, but out of 22 players, I only had 8 Niueans. That's the way Niue was run. You know, there was, and on the next field over was the same. There was another team playing in Niue colours, and the jerseys were old, man. The brother Sam had no support. He had no idea how to get new uniforms, apart from sell tote tickets, bonus stuff. No, we'll do funding, bro. But I saw the, you know, social media about 8 years ago, all the, you know, feedback, oh man, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Didn't get the trophy. They wouldn't give us the trophy. It's cool. So, you know, we had 2 cracks at it and got to incorporate ourselves after the second. That tournament was October. I gave Sam his photo in November. I said I'll be back at your house in January. And I was back. First week of Jan, I said, bro, I'm here. Let's start working. He was like... and he just told me like about a year ago, because now I can see what you want. But there was a group of us that wanted to do it this way. But we had to go through all the mud and all of this other stuff to get where we are today. You know, we never picked back then where we were getting players out of Niue. Not for a minute, man. You know, and kids more kids from Australia, and actually doing girls now, which is massive. I'm passionate about the girls game. I'm very passionate, brother. We with our relationships, we were given an opportunity to play on Sky TV at Mount Smart Stadium number 1 in 2020. Was it 2020? Yep, 2020. Played Tonga. You know, when they asked me at a NZRL meeting, would you take the game? I had to say yes. You know, and I could have went back and talked to the committee, but we didn't have time. But, you know, we had members back then that were just focused on the men. I said, no, the men. I said, look, you take the opportunities. They ain't talking about us and the men. Because I'm also a firm believer, take your opportunities. I was high risk, all right. But once again, I saw how that system worked. You know, is this how they do it all? You know, with the paperwork and accommodation right down to the names for TV. You know, you just can't take your team sheet up anytime. It's all regimented, you know, and it's actually a real stage production type thing. We played that game, and I saw them. We had a message from the Prime Minister back home, Premier. Oh man, everybody was sending us messages. We got slaughtered. We got sussed, bro. It was 66-12, I think, 16.
Against Tonga.
Against Tonga. And the biggest mistake I made, because I was one of the main guy in the middle finding the players, is that we picked a lot of rugby. You know, and we went to Black Ferns. We weren't shy, eh? We're trying to hype it up, but they went, you know, they picked the union pathway back then, which is cool. That there were union girls, a lot pulled out at the last minute, and so we had to go and fill in, you know, whoever we could find. And we got slaughtered, but, you know, those women played with a lot of pride.
Talk about taking the opportunities.
Oh, you had to. You had to, man. And it was a long walk, but I was quite proud because...
it's one of those, yeah. Oh, now we've got a fun team.
That was it. And you actually had to sign the participation agreement. And people, they don't understand. It's cool, we shook hands, but now here's the contract. And it's like, oh, jeez, we've got to show up now. You know, there's our reputation and name was on the... You know, and I think we got it right. We laid the foundation. The biggest thing we didn't have was no junior database. We had no young girls coming through at all. None playing Lisa Fiola Cup, none playing Tasha Gale, Harvey Norman up in Queensland, nothing. And then from there, we've just been building ever since, brother. Sylvia Brunt played for us one time, you know, came out. We played a 9-a-side against Tonga, beat them. But some of those girls are playing senior footy now. Waimari and Ngati, she was at Gold Coast Titans. She's with Burley Bears now. Her, Ione Tahia, she was with the Auckland and all that. But we had hardly any, but now the numbers are growing. We had under 13s and 14 girls. So I said, oh, look, by the time we get to 17s in 2 years, we're going to have a team. You know, I ain't struggling like we are now. But like I said, with those under 18 girls, I flew to Christchurch and met the families. You know, and I've done Zoom calls. But some of them have done their own research and said, man, that can work for us. You know, we want to help our people. And those are the heartstrings. You got to know how to read the room real quickly. And but you know, we made a promise that, you know, we will play Tonga again, but we ain't going to go down by that. Nah. You know, and I mean, one of the girls that smashed us that day is Mele Hufanga.
Yeah.
Bro, and that game actually launched her. I don't care what anyone says. You tell me video footage prior to that of her running amok. She was running amok, bro. But even that day, I looked at the Tongan leader. You know, and he's taught me one thing in life. You know, is to be a good winner. You know, you can be a sore loser, which, you know, we've all had a turn. But he says also be a good winner. And, man, you know, wise words. But he said, man, she's a future superstar. I said, bro, she just got 4 tries. I think so.
And look at her now.
Eh? You know, and the world's at her feet in the women's game. But that's where we want Niue to be. You know, even don't make there's an excuse that we're small. We've got to work hard. You know, as you know, with anything in life, work hard. You know, hard work pays off, eh? Yeah, but you know, we have to start with the girls coming through. So, you know, we had under 12s, 13s, and a 14s. You know, and Aussie, you know, they got a cool system, but they don't have unity. Not only that, bro, you know, our community over there, you know, down the road to them is an hour drive. You know, in Auckland it's only like 30, 40 minutes, you know. But this is the stronghold for the Niuean people. This is why it's actually worked for us. And the spiritual home of rugby league for our Niuean community is Auckland. Because, you know, 60s, 70s, they played for Ponsonby, Richmond, Maritime, the old clubs, City Niuean Dragons, before they moved to the suburbs. But ever, you know, from those times, it's been intermarriage, you know. And then when I talk to some kids, oh, this is my granddad. And, oh, you played back then. Cool. But those are those strong links. But like I said, you know, we'll play them in the future. You know, and off the back of these stories, you know, and these opportunities to talk, we've had, you know, families from Aussie want to be part of it. So we have 3 girls coming out of Brisbane. All the FAs of papers, they want to play for Niue. But they want the culture too. You know, we've done the videos when they do the kalo, you know, the hymn, the national anthem. It's compulsory, kids have to learn it. If you don't sing it, I'm looking straight at you, you know. That's all part and parcel of our package, to be part of us. But now we've introduced the camps, something the Māoris do quite well. And it's starting to work. I can see the bond of the boys. Because we used to just train, maybe one training before the PYC, and that's it. Everyone will come together, and then, oh, yeah, cool, that's us. We've had a few trainings beforehand, but numbers weren't that good. And, oh, no, everyone's in now. And in camp, it's all about the culture and coming together even tighter. And like I just said to you, this year it was with the 13, 14, 15 boys, it wasn't about their grade, it was about Niue. It's all about unity and uniting, because we're stronger together than apart. And now, with the area that I'm passionate about, I can go back 5 grades and I would know who the stars are. You know what I mean? That's your recruitment plan, your player identification. So, you know, database, it's all on, you know, spreadsheets. Anyone that knows me has got spreadsheets. And then under 15s, we've got X amount of players, cool. Right down to the under 7s. You know, there's a method to it. We do prize givings and all the award winners are cool. Yeah. I'll see you in a few years.
It's good because then you can see them in a few years. Like, you see them every year and their progression there, each of the kids.
Very, you know, and I can remember one girl playing PYC. She very good. She made tournament team, and I said to the family in passing, I says, don't forget the Niuean jersey's still at home at your house, see? He goes, oh, yeah, we haven't forgotten Phil. Because the mother was part Niuean, you know, and the father was 2 other nationalities. She had a number of options, but I said, don't forget about us. And any kid that actually makes it to the higher levels, just don't forget about us. And if, you know, and you know, any of our boys that play at the national level now, that make it to that team, and I run into them, and if they happen to be supporting another nation, I'm not shy, and I'll tell them, your duty is to come back to us, you know, because your international jersey came from, you know, that's the one-on-one talk. And a lot of them are good about it. Oh, yeah, true, Phil. So, no, there's no true about it, brother. I expect you at the next campaign. Oh, yeah, come back and help our people, because you got the honour of playing. Like, one guy played against Lebanon. You know, that's a huge honour. You know, it's just, but now you're with another nation. Oh, you know, that's the favourite line is. The missus is, you know, yeah, that's all right. But come back and help our people, because we're small as it is. Now, you're going to those big guys. I said, they got like 100 players over there. Man, I got like, you know, 20, 30, but they're 20, 30 soldiers ready to go. And that's that's what we instill in them, eh? But like I said, you know, doing this talk, you look at it and go, oh, man, there's heaps of moving parts. Yeah. It wasn't just this, it was actually heaps, 100 backstories. And like, you know, I've got coaches that have been with us from day one, still with us today, you know, and I think, Danny's been, he actually played in the first Battle of the City game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, broke his arm too. Broke his arm. At the end of the game, he was shaking my head. First time he met me, but he was in a sling. You know, but he stuck with the vision too.
Are we playing that game too?
Oh, yeah, 216. No. I was trying to calm the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was too big. And I was like, oh man, there's more people than I thought. We had a DJ going, you know.
Right.
You look back, you know, and it was good. But like, yeah, I don't believe in the 2 systems. It's one. You know, we want to introduce a unified database where the Aussie kids, New Zealand kids, we track the progression. And now with Niue, we give them opportunity. Auckland will always be strategic, you know, it's because if you're an Aussie kid and you want to go to Niue, you're playing 2 FS, eh? Basically. So there's four ways, eh? Yeah. And then Niue kids train the same to get there, but if you're coming to Auckland, you're only playing 2 ways, you know, return. Cool. And then we'll make sure the whole program's, you know, like that. You know, jersey presentations are big for us now. Man, we fill up the whole hall. We used to run the kids together. Man, I don't know what I was thinking. 300 was the limit in the hall. 350. Yeah. Fire hazard. Oh, geez, get these guys up. You know, people sitting on the ground. You know, and we split them. It hasn't changed. It's still packed. Standing room. But, you know, for that under 6, under 7 parent, all they want to see is their child holding up the jersey, you know, like this, with our banners, you know. We might finish at, say, 8 o'clock. We were up. We ain't gone to 8:30 because everyone's having photos, you know, with a banner, grandma, grandpa. And what I've learnt is that, you know, one player, one family. And with those under 6, all those minis, it's a family of 5 will come out to watch one kid. And so, my math isn't wrong. We're 550 strong, but I tell you, we're between 3,000 to 5,000 easy on an event will come. And they'll be wearing all our merch, carrying the flags. I don't even know half of these people. But they're there for the flag and our people to come together. And that's the passion that we try and go with different codes. Had a text to come through to the Rugby Sevens. They got Moana Pacifica this week. Hence why I ran late to this, and I went through to the training, and half of them are league players. So their parents, hey, you're in there. No, I got told come down just to have a look at the girls. They cancelled their training. So, but even though that we're two different codes, and the diehards refuse to work together, there are those that are forward-thinking, similar to myself. They want to work together. They understand that we're too small. They understand that the Palangi system the mainstream system is against us in some ways. You might be able to make one step here, but you actually on this side, you're 2 steps back. It's like, man. But, they're willing to break bread. Some of them are just, we're all good, we're all good. Well, that was 5-6 years ago. Well, we're still going well. As I said, with our under 18s, we had over 50 retros. There's a waiting list of 5 to 10 boys that want to play this in January.
Oh, wow.
That's the meaning of our jersey now. And I'm quite proud of. I mean, if I didn't have all these stories, bro, I would have given up. It's the drive that, you want to be there, you want to do the work, and you want to see our people happy. And it's still development and growth, but now we want runs on the board.
What's the main way you guys grow from back in 2016 when it started until now? Like, what was the main? Was it part of the work that you do?
Committee. I always say committee is a group of us.
And is it through social media or just through word of mouth, or building a tournament where, like the old saying, you put it in, they will come?
The whole lot. It's the shield, which is our Auckland Niue Rugby League shield, and it has that many backstories and parts to it. It hasn't been one single thing like the social media. When we put our teams up, and you go through every single team, there's a village there. Because if you ain't got no village up, you're going, what are you doing playing for us? I don't want them singing our songs, listening to our matuas, getting our blessings from our elders. When that's for the tangata Niue. That's my way. We leverage our social media stuff quite well. On the flip side of that, uniforms. Now we've got set uniforms, uniform suppliers. We pathway the coaches just as much as we pathway players. It's all about pathways. Transition them into here, but we also have an expectation on coaches to upskill. Don't sit here waiting for Niue every year. Join a club, whatever position you have in that club. In a governance level now, where there's a lot of Niueans around the city. People don't know it, but when the ones that are smart look a bit deep and say, Jesus, at this club you've got a club captain, at this club vice chair. You know what I mean? Secretary. She's 3 years on the executive committee, so you can see how I'm going now. We have a network across the city, but we've morphed that into the country now. Like my guy in Ben Narangiwha down in Waikato, I ring him, and he knows the Niuean church, but he's also on the ground in Waikato. And same with Maka and Johnny up north, And the common thing is our people, culture, but outside of that is rugby league. You got to use rugby league. But I just love, me and the community love meeting new Niueans. We stopped in Palmerston North on a 2020. We went to a tour to Wellington. We won that tournament. Danny Bernal was our coach. Dimitri Sifakula played for us. Was it the Warriors? Yeah. And we stopped into Palmy, and I remember one of the matuas, the elders, he cried. And I said, why is he crying? Because, bro, just to see all these young boys come in, all in the T-shirts, sang the song, we sat there, and they fed us. And then that's when I met families from Foxton, Moru, Army Camp. They all came in. It was a big thing. And then one of the guys I knew, his cousin, he goes, no one ever stops in. Like you guys, a sports team. He drove down. And to be honest, brother, that was the last time we drove. I thought it was, yeah, man, let's give it a go. And we'll drive down Friday morning to Wellington. Oh, my gosh. We drove back to Auckland Sunday night. Sunday, man, we played all day Saturday. We won that tournament too. Man, we surprised a few people, but, they had shut down league in Auckland for COVID. And so we had a list of about 10 plus kids that were part Niuean that we knew of. We went around and grabbed them all. Bro, they all said yes. One was committed to Samoa, another one to Tonga. He goes, oh, no, I'm here to represent my grandfather. Which was cool. Went down there and, man, the Wellington lot didn't see it coming, eh? There's other nations, they were like this, And our Wellington Niueans, man, it was cold. The latest grand final ever, it was nearly dark. No, it was like, Wainui Mara. Man, I didn't like that, Grant.
Why? What was wrong with it?
Well, first you got to drive up a hill to get to the area, and the hill's like on a van like this. So we stayed in there. But man, because league, one thing I've learnt is that they're not treated too well by the local councils around the country. A lot of hardships, and you got to be grateful for like half the Auckland clubs are sand based or sand slit. Man, they got nothing down there. It's straight mud. I'm like, whoa, windy on top of it. And I looked at the conditions. I said, oh, no way. And then, we won that. Came back to Auks next day. But, man, just to see those old people cold and they were singing, they were so happy. We were holding a trophy. Man, we would have had a better people of 60, 70 of us. Man, whole convoy left from Auckland. All the parents had accommodation. They all stayed in there. Stefania Kaulilupo. He's with the SG Ball. I think he's moved into Cup now. His late mother came down with us. There was a whole lot of names. Three of those boys on that tour popped up in Melbourne. I didn't even know they were there this year, and they won the Harmony Nines for Niue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Deontay Parisi, East Hope. I'm trying to remember his Braden East Hope, and the third one was AJ Taylor. But when we saw them in the photo, they're standing like this in the Niue jersey. Man, it touches your hair. Goes, it works. The pathway actually works. All those hours we have meetings and behind the computer for that. But those boys had put their hand up straight away, and we gave acknowledgement because the Niuean community in Melbourne's quite small. But they're passionate, and in Aussie they're passionate about their league. It's like rugby here, league over there. Like it's all the councils and systems all set up to that. And for those Niueans over there, it's a big thing. But like I said, recently one of them reached out, the Regents, and they want to work together. It's unity now, not Australia versus New Zealand. Who's the better? Oh, man. Push all that aside. It's one vision, one direction with Tōmutu. World Cup, yes, could be, maybe not now, because they've taken it from 16 to 10 teams, but the women's is different. Apparently they're going to play with the numbers, keep it growing. But there's the youth side of things, so there's opportunities. But the more teams we could come through, we're releasing like a mini doco coming up.
Oh yeah, who's doing that? Who's directing that?
Already done. I randomly found someone on social media. They did Niuean Language Week. Vision Productions.
Shout out to Vision Productions.
They one thing I know, videographers came with a price tag, but I'm very thankful that the husband's grandmother is Niuean.
Oh, okay.
And I only found that out. He stood there and I mentioned, you're kidded out, brother. Basically, he's the kid. Look, and you're like yourselves. You want to be able to pay for people's services. They came out and did a fantastic job. So 6.5 minute doco. Okay, we'll put that up there. But when they're doing interviews and you're hearing the culture, you kind of go, man, I want to be part of that.
How long has it gone? How long was it? The documentary?
Short. So 6.5 minutes on this one. We're meant to be doing a second part. It's like a little, man, those things cost too. Like, here's me thinking, the cell phone's good enough. Man, it's not CapCut or TikTok. There's a lot of work involved, and you got to respect those professionals. I mean, even like this type of setup, you respect all the gear and time and effort, Because I look at my own self, what I do on my committee, and it's a lot of work. We've got a storage shed now full of all our gear. Oh yeah, brother. Like if you coach for Niue now, we have all your balls waiting for you. Student balls too. Students, all your gear bags there, the first aid kit, gear bag, cones in there. If you're doing the older grades, like the internationals, there's hit shields, agility poles. With the stuff down in the mini mods, they kind of share it because for some reason some of our coaches that have left, it's a gift. They haven't given the gear back. You lose one hit shield then, but it's still one. And so, but that's the expectation. You come to Niue, we have all your kit ready for you. We give you an induction pack. With our older grades now, we have an interview panel. Man, this year, I'm blessed to say this, we had applications from Australia, Japan, and all around, like Auckland, around New Zealand, that wanted to coach Niue. But they just wanted to be part of the movement, and they brought their skills. This year for our under 18 girls, with Mark Valikai, he's based in Brisbane, and he got an assistant coach. That's the first time. We only just pick in our backyard. So now we're coming out of it. But, apart from that, I do a lot of talking mainly with the Māoris because their coaches came from everywhere. But they seem to get it right real quickly. So we've taken a few things out of their system. And, man, and that's the good thing about the leader. He's all about growth. Like, he'll tell you, what you want, what you're asking for, and just so it helps you grow. And so, yeah, we selected him for the 18 girls. Yeah, so that's pretty big. He's coming over, but we do a lot of virtual sessions. Yep, a lot of that. That's the engagement we do now. Because, hey, you don't want it to be a real island thing. I'll meet you at the car park. We'll see you under the tree. Well, the parents aren't going to come. Not the partner answer. Oh man, this is fishing. Oh no, it's worse enough you're small like we are. You got to be engaging to these other families outside of it, and people can't dispute it. Look at our numbers. We lost players last year for the mini mods that moved, and we gained. So you tell me, you know what I mean? They're still coming.
You're right about that. About parents there when they see it's like a man, what kind of Mickey Mouse organization is this? But it sounds to me like you've described that you've got everything sorted. Everything's there already. Like you got storage of everything in it, all the balls, all the jerseys. It's well organized. It's well run. Oh.
Because when you got those disconnected Niueans, what we find, especially with elite players, is that they know what's a shambles and what looks good. And we with the camps, and I always believe in being upfront and real. Same with the coaches, same with if something shows up late, I'll stand there and tell you. You'd rather hear it from me. But I do this speech to the mini-mods as I train them to come through. Please don't leave us a novel on Facebook. Because for some reason, our elders and matuas know how to use Facebook. They won't send you an email. Oh, I noticed all these people, the smart ones send an email. A lot of them don't, but long novels. You're like, oh. We laugh it off, we joke, but it's a bit serious. Like, if you have an issue with anything we do, come and talk to us, and we deal with it. We have a director of coaching and health and well-being. What else do you guys want? We're an affiliate member of Auckland Rugby League, First Pacifica that's signed. Because those are key relationships. But yeah, we're always up front. But you identify quickly. Yeah, those parents, just can't. They don't want a real island. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't worry. It's sorted. It's sorted. Man, and they're like, Phil ain't talking to us. He's worried. He's worried. Man, I want this to be here now. I want this to happen then. But we don't micromanage our coaching staff, but we do give them expectations. Like they sign contracts. That's the level of professionalism we want. And then with the interview process we had this year, they were happy when we had a 4-man panel. One independent and 3 from the internal committee. And the applicants were a lot. They all wanted. Oh man, you make the applicant feel like you mean something to us, or we're wanting you to interview. Oh, but I've been with you for years. I said, I know you have, brother, but this is the new system. There's other people that want an opportunity, and some of them have upskilled, done coaching courses and stuff. And that's what we encourage, but they're active in clubs too. So there's a lot of moving parts to it.
It's funny you mentioned the Facebook thing. Because you find a lot of clubs, even in rugby, like every teams have like a Facebook page, and the parents can come and chat, or even chat groups on Messenger.
I hate them.
Like you make chat groups for the team and also the parents. But it's like, why would you want to give them a voice, man? If this is gonna happen, if this is gonna happen. If this is team stuff, and then you get. I've seen situations where all the parents are on the team chat. Right, and there's arguments about the fucking fundraising and stuff.
It's Shortland Street. It's entertainment for some people, and I don't drink, so you can throw that straight to the camera. It's entertainment, and they sit there and they love it, and they wait for the next comment. Hey, did you read that comment? Bro, I don't know. When I was young, it was only a piece of paper, and at school, I remember like that. He said, she said, you know, girls talk. Like, oh man.
Whatever happened to the like in school when we're at school? Like, if there's a school trip, you just get a teacher gives you a note for your parents to sign. You can go to the trip. That's all it needs to be. It doesn't have to be a fucking platform where the parents can like.
You know, it's
like vent. It's just a vent. It's just a platform for parents to vent when they don't even, when the organization or the team doesn't even need to hear all that.
Man, it's like I said,
it's weird.
It's entertainment for some of them, you know. And then like I said, there are a couple of matures. I think the generational change need to, you know, respectfully move aside for us. They all know how to use Facebook. Wow, novels and everything. Jesus, you must have done a degree at school. Wow. You know, but I understand with some of the big organisations, they like to, what was told to me, NZRL, we like to know what the community are feeling and, you know, and saying. Are you sure? Because you're basically paying a moderator on some of that stuff, you know, and like, and you know, yeah, bro, I understand that's the new way, that's the new engagement.
I think there's a better way of doing it.
Oh, it's got to be, because, man, they just sit there all day and, like, that's their entertainment, you know? Just to come back with a comment and have a debate and screenshots. Like, man, you got to be careful what you type. I said, nah, man. I don't care. I'll say one of my tricks. You wonder why I ring you at 10 o'clock at night? Just because, unless it's voice recorded, you know, technology's thing, you got to, you know, and then, but we wait for a meeting. But like I said, we pick, you know, good people, and that's what's that's pivotal for our organisation. That's made us get this far. Good, honest people, you know, and it's just like you said, you know, you open up those forums, and I have great coordinators this year, because last year I thought, first year out of COVID, I'll try and do it all myself. It didn't work. Too big for that to be one man show. So for mini mods, and man, they did a fantastic job. Tarita Tirapai. And she did our counties, and Chi Sofia did Okalana. But man, the complaints that they had to deal with, I'm like, oh my gosh, so trivial. You know, one thing to come from the coaches and managers, but they're there to watch the coach. You know, it's not an island thing. You know, like, you know, we have policies, and any organisation now. I'm sorry, you have to have policies and procedures. Ours is a fundraising sponsorship policy that you have to register your fundraiser with us, sponsorship. If it's cash, it comes into our bank account, and then we send it back out. I don't expect to come to training and people are handing over $50, you know, dollars, and no, there's no money now. Like 5 years ago, the manager will come give you $1,000. I said, what are you doing with $1,000? No, the coordinators, you know, just keep a lid on it. Just go down there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was so stress free. But you know, they're volunteers like us. You know, we you know, got them some things, thanked them in front of everyone. But you got to look after key people now. That's what I've learned. For the international space, from 13s up, we're going to have a coordinator next year, a person just to come through and do all of that. Just because we've got to be more to the governance, so we review your coaches, and we do the hiring, and we'll do the review. That's it. We shouldn't be there hovering over everything. You know, that's at a governance level what we do. We're kind of a bit of both, but operations and governance. But, you know, reluctantly, you end up in the car park now and then. You know, he said, she said, and, but that's not what they said. I said, okay, cool. You got that in black and white? All right. And nowadays, have you got the screenshot? Maybe at my age, I'm thinking, man, screenshots, Jesus.
It's almost like, you know how celebrities have stuff on social media, and they got like 500, 700 comments. It's like reading all that. Like, you got no time to read all that, man.
You wonder why they got a PA, you know? And you know, that's why when I'm talking to the NRL guys now, they do social media seminars. Because they've got to teach the players how to use it. They got no idea, some of them, you know? You know, and kind of average at school, but now they're a professional athlete getting, you know, 150,000 a year, 300. And then they're quite loose of what they say. And now it's, you know, part and parcel of being professional. So I said, yeah, I guess now we do a social media workshop. Some managers, I think that's a plus of having a player agent. I believe in player agents from New South Wales Cup up. Yep, because you can sign those SG Ball, Harold Metz yourself. You don't need an agent for that. But for New South Wales Cup up, you do, because it's bigger money and there's a lot more technical stuff. So agents come in handy.
And it's like the reserve grade for NRL. Oh.
That's it. That's it.
Might as well be NRL.
Well, I know what they're paid, you know, and You know, I now when you kind of get get familiar with the figures and the processes and stuff, I quite like the administrators now. A lot of respect for like guys like Gus Gould. I mean, I don't care what people say. Oh, he's this and that. Yeah, but he also teaches players how to use social media. The other guy is Shane Richardson. Man, I love listening to their podcasts and stuff, because they analyse the game from, they'll tell you, we know the figures side of the game, we also know the footy side of the game. Where some people only know one, but not both, one side. And we're kind of listening to them. And, if you're a good student of the game, you take what works. It's just like playing, you take, okay, cool, they got that move, this move, okay, they're doing that draw.
Australia's a different beast, though. It's like, 100%. Like,
bro, they got no idea about us. And when you see some of the poly boys saying that they're advocating for Pacifica, it's good on them. Because they got no idea, man. Because it's, system's different. It's real regimented, but, our lot,
it's over 50% Polynesian in NRL now, eh?
I think it's going to get higher. There's complaints. They're already pushing back already. New South Wales Cup Rugby League are looking at putting a cap on Kiwi kids coming over. Too many.
Really?
Yep, bro. It's getting worse over there because the long term. That's why they're changing the eligibility rules all the time.
Now, that would be NRL saying that.
Oh, well,
but they have to, because their system is different, right? The clubs are private, right? Some clubs are private.
Oh yeah.
NRL puts their hand in a couple of clubs there.
Oh well, if you look at it, what's it? Brisbane Broncos is owned by News Corp. It's a whole media outlet. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's the bottom dollar.
Is that putting a cap on Kiwi players? Is that because the Australian players are not playing anymore? Are they not finding the numbers for Australian players?
I think they're there.
But they're not getting opportunities.
It's the Pacifica athlete. Big, powerful, strong. I spoke to a good friend of mine.
But a lot of them are born there anyway. Now.
Oh, it's the ones leaving from here that they want to cap. It's the ones, because there's too many. But this problem's been for years.
Right.
It's one thing for them to say it. It's another thing how they're going to police it. Because a club or an agent will find an inventive way to get around the rules. I don't care what they say. And you're talking about kids at 13, 14, 15, 16. So like, man, our advice now to the families is to stay here in NZ. Let them be a kid,
And I was just putting this to you, man.
Oh, yep. Sorry, man. You can hear me? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love talking to different families and that, but I always tell them to be realistic. For one thing, I do at club, and I do at Pacifica now, and oh man, my son's got opportunity, blah, blah, blah. I say, oh, cool. Are you going to go? Oh, no, we're going to send him. Oh, yep. Does your son know how to fold his own undies? Does he know how to make breakfast in the morning? Like, they're looking at me again. Is mum still holding his hand? If they're doing any of that, bro, don't send them. Keep him here to grow up, or you're going to have to pack up, bro. And when I've had this conversation, like at least a dozen families, they're half packed up and moved, some of them. Oh, man, we really think they feel something. I'm just, being honest with you, because I know how this is. You send him over there, and he's all his life, mum made his breakfast.
Doesn't know what to do.
He's got no life skills. Yeah. You need life skills,
Yeah.
Like, and I saw one boy, he played for us at the in our pack, one of our pack teams, and he's already flying to Sydney for a club he's signed with over there. He's very mature, but that's the way his parents have brought him up, But like I said, I've dealt with players where, man, they're spoon-fed. If you can't fold your clothes or pick up your undies off the ground, you shouldn't be going, bro. You got to make your bed, And one thing I notice of Islanders is really bad is time. And I have to back the Aussies that you come late, you're in trouble. Because I've had some of our Premier boys go to Aussie clubs and they just find straight away money. Man, if you come 30 minutes before training, you're late. It's an hour before and you're doing all your stretches and everything, and that's when training starts. He goes, bro, training might be 2 hours, it's actually free. Reeling is down here, man. And that's where time management's pretty big with some of the kids. And the Warriors, they actually filter you out early. So it's a blessing for some of them because they can't meet the standards and they show up late all the time.
It's the devices, man. It's the PlayStation 2, it's the PlayStation 5s, PlayStation 4s and all that. The kids these days, man, like, like you're right, man. It's washing the dishes. These simple hours around the house that we grew up doing, right? Because these are life skills. Like when you're living by yourself and you don't know how to do things, then why have you done all your life?
Exactly. A parent I talked to recently, their child's 17, and there's Phil, the opportunities coming up and Aussie and blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Sign your son up as soon as you can for a driver's license. Get all that done first. Does he know how to use the bank card? It's just those sort of things. Just teaching that, and financial responsibility. So this particular kid's been earmarked for a good pathway, which is cool. It could change the family's lifestyle. But you've got to teach them some basic life skills. And I mean, there's those clubs they're going to only going to show you so much. But with our Pasifika kids, I just soft spot for me. Make sure they're looked after, including our Māori kids from my area. Be realistic. But yeah, it's like you just said, life skills. Man, if you can't clean up the rubbish, mow the lawn or something like that, bro, you're going to struggle. That means you can't find your way to training, get your way to school. This first thing the Aussies will do, can you drive? All those basic things, eh? Yeah. But in the playing wise, our players, our people are great players, eh? But some of them are just not the greatest trainers. Yeah, I always, my favourite saying of mine is, train like Tarzan, play like Jane. And then some of them, the opposite, they're real good players. They train like Jane and they play like Tarzan, different guy. But you've got to be the complete package at the next level. They only take X amount, eh?
Do you think there's a disconnect between the kids realizing talent versus working hard?
Oh, brother, to be honest,
like if they've got talent and they've been coaches saying, man, you're really good, you're the best player on the team, that sort of thing, and is there a thing where they think to themselves, I don't need to train as hard?
That's true. No, that is so true, and I think that's where the Bullings are quite good. They're realistic. They're going to tell you, you don't work hard, you don't know everything you think you know.
Doesn't matter how much talented you are, they'll drop you if you're not a hard worker.
That's it, man. I've known a lot of stories, a lot. And I remember one of the old Warrior GMs coming to a house in Māngere, and then the young kid took off out the back door, jumped the back fence, went and hid. The head trainer at the time, as they had him in first grade training with them, training trial, was thrashing him, and he goes, stuff this, man. Because that's the way their mentality is. They just want to play. But that's how people are. You give them any shaped ball, then they're going to run around in the park, And luckily, that is still one of the values we hold on to. They're good, but talent only takes you so far. It's all the other little things, showing up to training on time with all your gear, all your disciplines. That X Factor talent will get you the next level. But then there've been a couple of kids I've seen go through on hard work. Never picked for any rep teams. Yeah.
So these are some of the things you teach the kids at Auckland, Niue?
Edward Cossey played at my club. I remember that kid coming through Hawks. When the reporter came and had to talk to his coach, and he got to me first, I said, bro, here's what I know, and I just go to the coach. Never made any rep team. And his club team at our club his team was the one that only made pennant. Never made championship. Never got looked at. Then he did a walk-on trial. He came in trial for topside. I was there. Played Otahu versus Mangere, which is the State of O game. Oh, man. It was a trial game, which is even worse. It's a free-for-all. And I remember, man, he just sacked it. Yeah, he jumped. His coach, his age group, put him on, Phil. I'm not the coach. Go on then. I said, it's one of the boys, get off, just get him on. Man, I seen him panic. He went away, put on 5 kilo of muscle, went to the under-20s walk-on trial from 150 players and made it to the last 3. And from there, the rest is history. Had a bit of a thing when he went to Richmond. He kind of went downhill. Fell into some bad habits, and then he got the final warning. And then he came back, fought his way, and look at him now. And it's all that hard work stuff that I tell with our lot, our Niuean kids. You got to work hard. But when you're selected now, mini mods 6s to 12s, it's participation. We will not turn you away, unless there's like a disability, or there's real player safety concerns, which is you cannot tackle at all. And we'll talk to the parents. And some of those parents are actually not to be, can my son just be part of the team? Don't have to play. Okay, cool, all right then. But But when you come into 13s, it's here's the system, and we keep adding on to the system and changing it. But we also got to teach. You can't coach hard. That's what I tell them. You know, if you got a weak heart, I don't think you should go out there. Because, man, something's going to happen. I was with under 20s for 3 years. So I said, hey, man, you got a strong heart, you're going to be strong out there. But you got a weak heart, oh, not good, man. You know, we can coach your lungs, or we can't coach heart. You know, anyone in footy, you understand. Oh, you know, you're right. We can get you fit as, but you might be scared as. It's a contact sport. At the end of the day, it's a contact. We're not playing, say, tag and touch. I mean, Niuean's quite big in that sports. Very good players too. I know that many, but our numbers in the contact was totally different from opposed to the 80s and 90s.
Tag is huge here.
Oh,
hey,
man!
I heard someone say when it comes to tag versus touch, the transition skills is more of touch than tag. Is that right? Do you believe that? Because it's a step in. When you think of touch, I think of Sean Johnson and Benji Marshall.
To be honest, it is touch.
Yeah,
that's my own personal opinion. That's not the opinion, you know. But I've seen enough now.
I believe that.
When you go to dummy half, they can scoot real quickly. The touch boys, but the glaring difference of both of them, they can't tackle. I mean, it's a contact sport. You got to tackle.
Yeah.
And that's one area I've seen about 3 or 4 players. There were halves. They left from here, came back to within whatever couple of years. The defense was weak. As you go over there, you have to tackle. 1 to 13 out of the field has a tackle.
I mean, when you tackle, you can learn to tackle, but I think the other skills like stepping. And if you look at like guys like Sean Johnson and Benji Marshall, you know, thrived and
but the thing
league
is
because of their touch skills.
They thrived in league, but their also defense wasn't the greatest.
Right.
And everyone knows Sean. You know, if you have a look at some of the greats, you wonder why when you watch their game tape, you say, "Oh, geez, they're standing in the centres."
Right.
they're hiding right next to a big second row that's like half crazy. You know, you're not going to So that's why I say defense. You know,
it's more of a spine thing.
That's it.
And spine and league will be good at touch than anyone else.
Correct.
You wouldn't put a prop in there and be good at touch.
Actually, I've seen some good football skills. I've seen a couple say they're halves and play, like all the skills, but 120 kilo, bro, you're front rower all day. Even with that Aussie lot, I feel sorry for our Pacifica kids from here. They go there and they get in the middle of your cousins. That's
like automatic
with the stereotype, and it's bad.
Second row.
I know one kid now. He was a halfback over here, and I thought he was pretty decent for us. And he ended up over in Sydney. Played in our own second row. I was like, "Oh, you're kidding me?" Another half we had 1 year prop. You're kidding me? Because no, they don't do 6'2" halves, and they explained it. And I went, "Oh, okay." But I've heard that from my coach. And you just stare at me, get in the middle with your cousins, your bros. And really? But I think the tide will change. But then you just got to analyse how many halves are actually coming through the Pacifica kids there. We're mainly the forwards, eh? You look at it, all the outside backs, with the wing, the centre. Eh? So that's my observation. But with Niue, our quantity is not a problem for us now. It's just the quality. It's a different story, numbers-wise, for the boys. For girls, it's a bit of both. And we're still growing it. But when we're scouting a player all year round, we're looking at the first tackle. If you can't tackle, then man. If you're a front row and you're making a 5 metre hit up, 2 metre hit up, or whatever, but your D is on, your line speed is good. That's for Niue. And we took that formula in 2022, and we won the development PYC, that section. Off the back of that, I took a few young guys. Coach says, "Are you sure, Phil?" I says, "No, man, I'm telling you, every kid can tackle." I don't know, the hit-ups, I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at, they tie in, they know their A's and B's. So the flip side of these kids is that they actually, they're coached at club. Now, we look at that too, who their coach is and what system's been brought in place. And these are these little tips we don't really tell, And then, is that why you looked at him? Because the coach is a real defensive coach, and we kind of gravitate, so that they're used to the rough stuff. Hey? Because one thing about Pacifica people, they can score tries anywhere, anytime. Man, the skill level, the X factor, but on some of them on D, they kind of shy away. Unless you watch the NRL, all those guys tackle. But it is grassroots footy. Yeah. So with our kids, we're doing more coaching and development with them next year. Yeah, so that's a big thing for us is their coaching and development. Upskilling the coaches, but also teaching them just the basic skills like being second or third tackler in, or tackling rear tackle. Not these one-on-one big shots. Like, it might look good, but man, I've seen more damage than anything else. There's the side-on tackle, stuff like that, And we put it down to coaching. If you're coached very well, you got a better shot at having a more enjoyable experience playing footy. We're looking at a bit of stuff out of England because if you think about it, it's the weather conditions. Okay, it's our winters it's might be a bit colder, but the ground's soggier, so it's more heavy, more power. Where Aussie, it's dry. Part of Queensland is dry all year round. Unless you're like Canberra or Melbourne, then it might be a bit, soggy. But no, it's a real fast game. But with us, it's power, and you can take some of the drills that the English do. Not too bad. You can apply it here. So I think some of our boys, they kind of thrive in that environment over there. Yeah, and they're just treated in a different way. So I've spoken to a few players. Ignatius Pasi one. His wife, his partner's she's Niuean. So Ignatius always sat down with me and we just had a little chat through the club. But he understands the Pacifica stuff. When I remember going to work and I see the kid running the roads before school at 7:30 in the morning, running the streets, and then he goes to school, then he goes to training that night, and he's running up Mangry Mountain, and that was Sebastian Ikehifo, who had a successful career at the Warriors. He's still playing now. There was players like that.
He's playing for now in England.
Huddersfield Giants, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Huddersfield Giants. But he wasn't the only one. Ofahiki Ogden. I've seen it right for you. It's those little extras, and that's what I tell our Niuean kids. I said, man, don't be shy to go to the park, set up your shuttles and do your own Bronco. A proper Bronco, measure it out or whatever. Or just do laps, just keep fitness. That's your own homework, not our homework. Hey? You come to training, the coach is not there for fitness, he's there to get the game plan right. Our bit's the culture. Those are the things that we've learnt over the years. Like I said, one training with the whole team, and then we play in the tournament. Oh my gosh! Then we might jag a win or two. But now we've got a system coming through. I think within the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to have a lot more success, but we'll have a lot more kids and families that are Niue. That's it. Boom. That's us. Look, a saying that we've done for years. When you play at club, you play with your friends. Okay, those are your mates, your friends. Yeah, cool. Yeah. You come play for Niue. Yeah, that's your nation and your people. Different feeling. And it's working, man. I'll tell you, it's working with those kids when they got their T-shirts on. And my daughter won. She played under 13 girls this year. Her team won the Auckland champs, and they beat Point Chef. And then there were 2 boys in the Point Chef. Never seen them before. They had the Auckland Niue Rugby League T-shirts on. Proud ass standing there. Yeah. And I had a talk with them and says, "Oh, I mean," and then I quickly clicked which girl on the team was, And I said to the family, I says, "Man, I see you guys at Niue." He goes, brother, that's us." Oh, man, the old heart there was Then I clicked and I recognised the dad. I said, "Bro, you've been with us." He goes, "Man, I'm proud." And his wife was another nationality, but he's not proud. And it's those little wins, eh? I classify them as wins. And like I said, next 3 to 5, the numbers, well, under 18s, we've got over 50. I mean, there's kids out of Aussie that are wanting to come and play now. But like I said, you've got to make it as professional as you can. But that's right from quality staff. Here, when you come in, here's your player information pack. It has all the fees. It has all the training days, everything. And then we give them a training program. And social media, one good thing about that is you can have these groups and they've got to post their videos. Now, that I think is quite beneficial. Okay, cool. Yeah, all good. Hey, I just saw 10 players put their videos up. Where's the other 6? So I don't want to hear any excuses. Get the videos. That's a good thing, eh? But it just shows the rest of the team that they're engaging.
When did the professionalism start for Auckland Niue Rugby League? Was that Did it come after the Warriors or before the Warriors?
I was before.
Yeah, way before.
Yeah, it had to be. It was before. Around about 219.
Right.
219, 218.
Was that just recognizing that no one other organizations was doing the same things, or?
Oh no, some of them are doing it. I mean, it depends who's.
Oh, that's off the back of the New Zealand Māori.
Oh well, no. Actually, I didn't get into his stuff until 2020. Actually, he you know, like I said, it was a test drive for 2 years before he came in. He'd bring a Waikato rep team to our mini PYC, we called it back then. And when he saw it work, then he went, "Oh no, I'm all in." You know, because it's a lot of resources for them and a lot of reputation. And he's been pivotal. I mean, don't get me wrong, we don't see eye to eye. You know, we're no different to any parangi. You close the door and then it's on. You know what I mean? But when we walk out of this room, it's a united front. But we've sorted everything out. But yeah, from that, yeah, you're right. Professionalism. You got to be real. I like to keep it real with the families. I don't want to affect them. You know, tell them this. We do get things wrong. That's the truth. I'm never going to deny that. You know, but we stand with our coaches. We don't throw them under the bus. You know, we do reviews, but we also up front. And the families are generally really good. You're always going to get the one or two, but it's better than some other you know, nations that have got like 50, 40 that are unhappy and like, oh, there's something wrong in there. But that's your business. You're going to sort it. Like, small as we are, I'm happy as we are. And like I just said to you, the club thing, you know, we all love our clubs, but when we come for our Niue, it's the nation and our people, eh? That's us, boom. You know, and I don't care where you come from when you show up. And when we do our muster days, the little kids, I see all of them running out, whoa, all doing the haka. And then, you know, typical Niueans, I think it's all nations are Niueans got it. 2 weeks out from the tournament, they're all at training. You know, the mini mods, which is cool. I mean, they're not really cool, but you know, we want our fees in it this time. Those are the, you know, as soon as the team lists are up, you know, that's all a big thing too. Getting the villages, man, those are big things. I don't get abused as I used to on the first 2-3 years. I'm not abused, but the old people. We're from 4 villages, but you know, the son-in-law might be another nationality, but only put 2. Hey, man, they're really offended. But you know, the beautiful thing outside of that is that even though you're Niuean, you're proud of the village you're from, and those old people say, no, I'm from Vaia. Even if it's a small village, I'm from Vaia and we're proud. You know, when some of the community leaders that I gravitate to, man, when we see some of the smaller villages in there, we go, man, it's good. Because there's like 2 of them in Niue, a bit smaller in population, but they got a lot of league players. Now, people don't know that. And it says, I know that because for the last 7 years, I've been tracking going, man, every year they got 2 or 3, sometimes up to about nearly 10 kids, and most of them are quality. You know, for some reason, in that particular village, they gravitate to the league.
Have you gone over? Gone over to Niue?
Yeah, I was there in 2020. Oh, sorry, 2019 was my last time.
Nice.
That's when we planted the seeds. They're waiting for us to go back. But, you know, these days it's, you know, money's one thing, but it's the time. You know yourself, it's all comes down to time now. You know how much time you have in a day, and you've got to make that time work for you.
Yeah.
But it can be a little bit draining, bro. To be honest, our whole committee, we have a committee breakup. You know, we go out for dinner, and we let it all out. You know, there's got to be a safe zone. That's one thing we've learnt with our coaches and managers. There's got to be a safe zone for them to vent, have a review, and just tell us, you know, in the correct way. And we do listen to them, you know. You do get your time because that's what you've earned. Because none of us get paid, and we love our people. And all of these things have worked, you know, and just constantly reviewing. Okay, even though we have a big review at the end, it's cool. But after every event, muster, we have a review. We have little mini reviews, and then that didn't work, this didn't work.
Right.
There's 3 of us that take down notes. Boom, 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 boom. Then we come back and we put it all together. Have a little planning session, yeah. And the key to all of that, food. There's food, brother. You're not Islander if you don't eat food. Don't come with this vegan thing or, you know, I'm this kind of type. I'm going, oh, bro. That's when you come near me, you eat the food, man. We eat before we actually talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why the Māoris are so successful because, man, they eat buffet like it's nobody's business.
There's a Niuean dish that I've seen that I wanted to try. It's the one that you cook it like a bake.
Takihi.
Yeah.
Takihi, bro. Yeah.
Takihi.
Yep.
Takihi?
Yep.
Man, I want to try that, man.
Oh.
I saw it getting prepared on YouTube.
Whatever Niuean function you got, that's the first thing that goes missing. Is that if you here, man, and always the head table, everyone's trying to eye it up. Oh. Yeah, the running joke at those at our things. I don't think it's yours. Is there? Please, people, there's enough food for everyone. Don't wrap your plate and put it in your bag. Man, it became a running joke because it's a professional thing. And when we have our league thing, hey, there's enough food, okay, guys? We just, before you feed the car, feed the plate.
Because I had a friend that he went out with a Niuean chick, and she, I think I experienced it as well. I think my cousin is married to Niuean. We went to their wedding, and they have the thing where they have the
cloth?
like, cloth in front of money on
Yeah,
them?
man. Me too. Mine.
What's that called?
Sigatupu.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sigatupu. And that's one of the traditions that I love personally that is still alive today. You know, I think each village has got their own limit, their own version of it, I suppose. And from where I'm from, and that's our last thing we can, that if it's the bride or the groom's family, they say to whoever, if it's the groom, make sure you look after our son, make sure you cook for him, behave yourself, the same as the man,
They actually stand up and say it, eh?
Oh, so, bro, they're doing this, and
I
haven't heard it. I've heard the stories, but there's been some negative stuff for him, right? But I have heard one, and it was tense. I was like, oh my gosh, did Uncle really say that now? And I was like, oh, it's ruthless, I would have been, in my 20s, what, that was ruthless, but that's the opportunity. Because now and then they get the money, and they fold it up, and they hand it like that, I don't know about this wishing well thing anyways. There's a biology. Get the cloth ready, man.
Yeah. I mean, I went to my cousin's wedding, and that was the first time I seen it.
Yeah.
When they did that.
Yeah. I was fortunate I had that for mine. I was a couple of the old people that looked after me when I was like pretty much 5 and 6. They were still alive to come and do that, sitting there in their wheelchair, one of them, and they said a few things. Those traditions, I love them, and that's what we do. So when you come to a team blessing, it's a highlight for any family. That's the old people come, and as tradition, we all do a combined takalo, which is a haka, where the girls is a chant. Now you look at any video, man, that's what I said to the language people and cultural people. I said, I've got 60 to 100 kids getting up there to do the haka. Wow. You tell me, and they're like. The videos don't lie. They're like, counting their heads. Man, he's telling the truth. We've got 3 teams. There's 22 in each team. That's 66 kids doing the haka, So, but after that, as tradition, we have a group photo. Okay? In that group photo, loudest you can do, Niue I'm free, and I want everyone to hear that we're coming to play. That we're going to be there. And then they scream it out, Niue, and you got those videos, and when you watch them, even after all these years, it still kind of picks you up. When the work gets a bit hard, you got to go back to those old times and go, oh man, this is why I do it. I see all these young kids, these 5 and 6 year olds. I got a photo. One time happened at a rep day. Under 12s were playing, under 11s were playing Cooks, Cook Island versus Niue. We won the game, and these boys came from the under 7s. I think, man, this fella and his little gang. About 5 of them, they took their tops off and did the haka on the side, and I went, oh my gosh. In this moment you never get back. One had the flag, and they were like, hey! And, it was pretty special. I'll catch up with that coach next year, man. That was, I only took the photo, but we were still like, wow, man, we need to be filming this moment you never get back. And like I just said to you, some of those kids that played in t-shirts, they come through now. And we acknowledge them. We get up the front and said, oh, here are the t-shirt kids. But and it means something. Yeah, if you're going to carry that in life, especially amongst our people. So I play for Auckland, Niue Rugby. I always try and tell them not taking anything away from the other 2 codes, but you're tackling a 100-kilo person, running at you. My job is to get a try, and I'm going to run over you, through you, whatever. But for any of our whāata out there, the grades, as soon as they put their hand up to play, to me that means something. Okay? it means you're a little bit higher in my eyes. And at Komiti, you're a little bit higher because you're going to put your body on the line. But, you've got to pull on those little stories and, hey, man, you're doing this for the nation. So, with the PYC kids, every time you score a try, the whole nation celebrate. Our biggest reactions has been a win. When those boys won in 2022 out at North Harbour on Sky TV, 560 thumbs, whatever, Yeah, I don't know. You couldn't convert that into money, but you convert that into brand value. The value of the brand just went up, man. The shield. Like I said earlier, we protect the shield no matter what. That's our thing. But the value just went sky high, because we don't win much. Duke and Williams getting a medal at Commonwealth and sort of get winning gold at the South Pacific. Man, those are those stories that are going to ring for years. You watch this, there'll be 10 new kids doing boxing next year, 20. No different to the league. When we win, we're all going to win. Now the Warriors are winning, our league will be back. I'm telling you now, they make the finals for the next 2-3 years under Andrew Webster, you'll see the league numbers go up, 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 up.
I reckon league is. I reckon there's a good time to play league right now, because I think it all started with MMT, slowly from MMT, and then even the Rugby League World Cup last year. I mean, the Pacifica representation in the World Cup, with Toa Samoa and Tonga, and the quality players that play for these teams, man, just exploded. And off the back of Super Rugby being shit, All Blacks losing. If you think about this year, right? Who are the teams that actually won something this year? It was the Kiwis and the Backfront.
Were they playing the World Cup this year? Were they? I mean, in some parts of New Zealand, they're watching the league. Hey, they're watching the Warriors.
Exactly.
Look, this is a comparison, and this is a running joke of some of the union guys. I know that love the union. They go, man, as soon as the league comes into town, they convert straight away, man. They're because what the Palangis fail to me, what they fail to recognise is that our people are there to follow the flag. That has different meaning, eh? So they'll switch from union over to league just to follow the flag, man. I'm proud. Same with Niue. But you have a look at how many parades that happen. Hey, that's a thing now, and that's how you can kind of judge the crowds. We deal with the CEO of New Zealand Rugby League, Greg Peters. He's got a union background, Hurricanes. Very smart man. He reads the room very well, because he knows the landscape of the Islanders. Because he gave us our chance. Clash of the Pacific, we played in 2020, like I told you. Got a hiding, but we're back on the international stage. And then he got us Asian Dragons last year. Yeah, we played the Asian Dragons, and Wairangi Kopi just told me before the game, bro, you ambushed these fellas. He saw our team come out, and it was like athletes. Because the PYC kids, like I've been telling you about, they're playing Jersey flag, they're playing SG ball. They're the ones I said, myself and the selectors, go and get them. We reached out, we had a kid come from the Raiders, Vena Case Patuki, he was one. Marco Talangi out of the Sharks, he came. And then we got another kid out of the Redcliffe Dolphins, the Utatau boy, Justice Utatau, he came over, who had played as a 17-year-old. He's like 2-3 years older now. But he just said he saw the differences because this is our stronghold for our people. But, man, I learned a few things. You go into those TV games, it's all in. We get to the senior stuff, man, we were on the phone. And like I said, he looked at our body shape, and he looked at the Asian Dragons, and he goes, holy so what happened to us against Tonga is what we've done to the Dragons,
These guys that come from Australia, do you pay for them to come over?
They pay their own way. Yep, all those families over there. But that's what I said. We've built the brand and the product and everything with the culture to what they want to play. We'll still come to you and we talk. Like there was a boy, man, I didn't even know this kid was part Niuean, was Jairus Gluzmina. He was with the Warriors, highly rated. He went to Knights, now I think he signed with the Tigers. He was part Niuean. He was meant to come. The Knights blocked him. I said, no, we need you for final. No. We got our own cup. No. It's Niue. Because then that perception, stereotyping. Little Niue, but he wanted to play. But you imagine I had him, all these other guys, young guys, and they're just hungry, chomping. And they had haka, and then when they broke down our team, there were a couple of, Casey Tomai, Richmond Bulldogs captain. He played SG ball with Jerome Luai and all of them. So, even though they're back here, they had a few years of that high performance system, so they know what to give back. With Eddie Paialiki, they played at Manly. SG Ball, he's done all of that. Harold Metz, come back, he's playing point chef. But those are the guys that, it's not a have a go day now with our jersey, but you got to reward the ones that have trained hard and played well during the year. Just like the Kiwi selectors, Because you hear that story, the coach picked the team. So no, he didn't. What we got now, from 13s up, is the selectors coming. This year I was very fortunate with our partnership. Again, I say it again, is that we had the Warriors come into the first trial, and they, helped us with the selection process, which was the basis of our teams. And our results are actually quite good this year. But that's what I mean. That's the Kiwi team. Yeah, Madge might have had a say, but the selectors are there. Go, here's the team. Same thing. So you do take things out of the mainstream and you apply it to our thing. Yeah. And I think it's worked. But like I said, I'm real passionate about that. To meet a family down in Christchurch. I met a few of them actually. Undercover Niueans too, from Dunedin, Timaru. 2 families out of Timaru, Invercargill and around Canterbury, and said, "Oh man, I want to play for Niue." Randoms, but it's that first engagement. Yeah. Well, since we're on this thing, and what people don't know is I used to use family trips away with my wife and my kids, and I'll stop off and meet those Niueans.
Oh yeah. Oh, may as well. I was on the way.
Right, because we drove down from Palmy to Christchurch, and I stopped in Wellington. This was the first time I went up and shook the guy, gave him some t-shirts. I said, "Bro, that's us, say." Luca Gibb Jackson, Jackson Gibb, and he goes, "Yeah, no, done." But common thing, kids. He's all about the kids, and then look at us now. We went from strength to strength. Wellington Niue Rugby League under Burner, they signed an affiliation deal with Wellington Rugby League. That sort of stuff doesn't happen in Pacifico, though. Whatever, our people are quite opinionated, cool. Well, I'm signing. And Auckland Niue Rugby League signed with Auckland. But what's the benefits? I said, that's quite a lot. When we talk to the league clubs, our conversation is different. We actually signed on the line. It means something, they're kind of still at the bar, some of the brothers, oh, no. Man. At the end of the day, sometimes when you get to the boardroom, has this been signed, notarized and everything.
I want to do a little thing with you. Here's a scenario, right? I'm gonna give you a scenario. We're in West Auckland. We've got 2 Niuean parents. They've got a son. He's 7 years old. They put him in Watermelon Seagulls. How does he get from there, through you, to play for Niue or Inara? What's that pathway look like? Well, run me through the pathway for that kid.
Okay.
You're perfect. This is your perfect ass scenario.
Okay, perfect scenario. He's at Watermelon Seagulls.
Yep.
First off, make sure the team is well coached. And the club actually, with Nas and them, are quite good with their kids. But when he gets to a certain grade, we'll be saying to him, look, man, make sure the team goes right through. If it doesn't, we'll get him into our jersey at 7 years old, and we'll watch his pathway come right through to 13s. And then, by that first year, we'll be looking at what club team he's playing in. We'll also be having a look at them at trials, and if they made the Auckland reps, we take all of that into account. And then if he's lucky to go to the next stage and be selected in that final 22, he'll play in the PYC, cool. If he makes the tournament team, then you're earmarked, good things. Come back to the 14s, if you do the whole thing again, wow, boom, you're going to be something. 15s is going to be something again. But if you keep making the Auckland teams, but now if this player, using example, is not a full Niuean, you become more valuable to those other nations now, and they will come knocking. So I've seen it. They will ring your house and they will tell you what you wanted to hear for the pride of that flag or pride of the red flag. They'll do it. But hopefully we've built enough loyalty and trust and reputation in these 5 years, 6 years, that you'll stick with us.
And when he sticks with you, then what?
And then he'll get to that level. If he's fortunate enough to go to, first it will be Harold Matts, 17s. He gets to that. That's the very first, Warriors development for them, Warriors development. Have a little taste, but he gets to the Warriors, Harold Matts. Like Sol Misiapo was one of our boys that came in the hard way. He's there now. And then from there will be your pathway into the SG Ball, but you've still got to be playing quality footy. And in the perfect scenario, you go through the cup, and then, man, if you make the top 30 for NRL, minimum wage is 120 a year. It's not bad for a 19-year-old kid or whatever it is, 120. That's the minimum wage. And then when it gets time to put the international jersey on, and God willing and blessing that Niue has a team, you pick Niue. Man, and for a player to do that pathway and come right through, man, that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah.
He's basically a Payne Haas, Adam Fnua-Blake. You look over to the Indigenous players like Cody Walker's one example, Edo Carr, all of those type of guys. Even before them, David Fafita, Jason Tomalolo. You get those key role models, man, you're going to be unstoppable. I mean, Toff Sipley's pretty cool. He's at Manly, he's been here. He was already too old to wear one of our jerseys, but he played in the national team. But yeah, we look forward to the next players that go to that. We've got a few in the cup level, SG. But what I found is if some of those young guys step up at Jersey Fleet and SG and play in these internationals and they do well, man, that might be another contract for them. Because with the new introduction of more NRL teams, that it gives there's another 30, 50 blokes out there wanting to play, that are just as good in the reserve grade to play first grade.
Are they confirmed the new team?
No. It will come down to money. I believe.
I heard the ones they put up, like Perth and then PNG and one put up.
PNG.
I think North Sydney Bears wanted to have a team in there.
For me, the very dark horse, will be the Tigers, Brisbane Tigers. Oh, sorry, Firebirds, whatever they're, Firehawks or whatever they're, Firebirds.
Another Queensland team.
Well, Shane Richardson, I recommend that to anyone over. You watch his podcast. He's a guy who talks figures and fact and feelings. Man, it's real good. You learn a lot in an hour with him. For a couple of years at that administration table. Like, wow, okay, is that how it works? And he'll tell you the facts and fallacies of the whole thing. And he says, you look at it though. Brisbane were crying, no, don't bring another team in. Redcliffe, no, it's not going to work. They had more members this year sign up for their club. You don't hear about that. Eh? Have they lost any players? No, they've gained. They've gained more new people that want to play. Because what league has over there is the hearts and minds of the public, eh? All the raffle ticket sellers, barbecue people. They have. That's what the rugby doesn't have over there. Like the rugby has that here. They have those tuck shop people. But so do we. But not in big numbers. But the only thing over here, they've got key regions that we can't. Rugby league now is a summer sport. And I love talking to those people in like Manawatu and all that. So why do you play in summer? Can't compete with the union, bro. And they're everywhere. They're from the sponsors. They come to the league training, wait in the car park, talk to the kids. Hey, yep. And they ain't shy, but they've got a good system. But then with the league, so they've Southland been creative. They play summer league, and it's worked for them. But yeah, getting back to Shane Richardson, man, watch that. I think they're Brisbane, who is, they've got the figures, they've got the numbers, the junior development. So that's the problem, eh? Is junior, and I think I've listened to 3 different guys and they've all said the same thing, that PNG don't have legitimate stars. And apparently you get a dispensation in the cap if you've got players coming from like PNG. I think they've only got 3, like Justin Olam, Xavier Coates, and there's one other that were born in PNG. So the rest have come from Oz, and there's no exemption. So the cap, the cap's a funny thing. Where that license goes, I don't know. And Peter Valandis, if you think like him or not, he's kept the game going through COVID, and he's just growing. I mean, that Redcliffe Dolphins was a masterstroke, if you ask me. I mean, they just missed out on the 8 in their first year, and everyone thought they'll run dead rubber last.
I think as a product, NRL is really good. Really good. I mean, that competition, man, like this season, NRL season, from week 1 to week 5, like close games everywhere, and it's like exciting. It's, man.
I'll tell you this, and I am a Andrew Webster believer. he shook my hand. So we had the first meeting, the meeting for the jackets, and Cameron turned around and said, "We're not here to talk about jackets, boys. We're talking business." We went outside, me and mate were still carrying ourselves, and our JD, our Māori mate, was still inside talking to Cameron. He went back inside, I don't know what for. And we were outside, and the players came from pre-season and walked past us, and we stopped and talked to a couple of the Tongan boys we knew. Kipu brothers, Daniela Otukolo was one, we still shook their hand. Man, and Marcelo Montoya, nice guy too, by the way. But he stopped and he shook my hand, and he shook my Tongan mate's hand. Bro, I felt specially, like, I know there's other Warrior coaches, man, they hardly said anything like that to just walk past. It's a business, a job. No, apparently that's what they do at Penrith. It's all culture. And it starts, they even do barbecues with the staff and the players, everyone together, because you're one. So you know where I'm going with the unity thing, eh? We're one. We're going to move together and have a look. And then when we signed the MOU with the Warriors, that was our contract signing day, he walked up to every leader that spoke, and I spoke on behalf of Niue, and he says, "Welcome to the Warriors. I look forward to working with you in the future. Welcome to the family." Wow, bro. I was like, whoa! Even though I'm a Warrior, I'm like, wow, man, really? Man, it's like, because I'm, you look where I am, and they still come, he gets it. And apparently he'll work the room and shake everyone's hand. And some of the Aussie guys, it's too much touchy-feely for them. They're like, oh, yeah. But he got the way that, our Pacifica polys are. And he gets the sense of humour, but he also gets its business. Okay, so, I mean, if we're wrong, well, have a look at the results. Jesus, we're, one game away from the grand final. I didn't pick it. So like I said, I didn't. I mean, I'm day one, bro, 95 day one supporter, but...
Who'd you support before that? Before the Warriors?
Before the Warriors, it was either, when I was younger, it was either the Tigers or the Raiders, whoever made the grand final.
Okay.
Yeah, I was that guy. But as soon as the home team came, still got some of my original gear saved up at home. But yeah, Webster gets it, He gets the cultural side of things. And like I said, they Warriors signed that partnership with us. And we run the biggest Māori Pacifica tournaments, and the best, matter of fact. And I laid it out to you earlier, and people can debate it, but you tell me another professional organisation that signed with a Māori Pacifica collective, man, they look at our people and can't trust us. I mean, if the union think that they won't do it. They'll come up with this flash strategy. I just saw that released the other day, Pacifica strategy. They're going to do all of this. How many of our people are actually in there getting something? Because I know when we first did that deal, we did the MOU signing, we had a few of those fellas reach out. I ain't going to say the names. But they were high up people, and they were asking for advice off us, and we're like, I'm looking at the names. They really reach out because they wanted to know how we're doing it. And then with this deal, we got the same phone calls again.
The build-up to that deal, the build-up, like what was the thing that really made New Zealand Warriors look at you guys? What was the thing that, and what was the moment, or what were you guys doing to make that happen?
Well, apart from two of my mates giving them their hot chips and nuggets on trays, because I was teasing them, I never served them, they did. We made them feel like that they mattered, like the partnership matters, and that was at North Harbour Stadium. We sat with them, we put them in a little box area.
So how did that happen? Like, how did that whole thing happen? Was it you guys just had a tournament and they were interested to come in to watch? And you guys just
we just
showed the hospitality.
Yeah, come in.
Yeah.
A few things. The Warriors are looking for an option for the future. We were thankful that one of the staff over there, without mentioning his name, he just said, "Hey, look, I think there's another option. Let's go with these guys." They hosted us at the Pacific Youth Cup tournament. They've got history. And then another staff member piped up and goes, "Yeah, we were there when it started in 2017. They've kept it alive all these years." And that's the truth. And then, like I said, when they came in, man, historic deal like that. I mean, Ken Rainsfield flew in from Sydney. Because he lives in Aussie, he flew in for that. And he shook our hand. Like, he walked around and shook every board member's hand. I think I invited nearly everybody I could, all the main ones. Dave Piqueto, which is the Referee Association chairman, or president, he came in. A leader from Northland came down. It was like, it's special for all nations in the room, you know, and everybody signed. But it was more, what we all loved was the meaning behind it. Like, you were being recognised, and that partnership day we had was actually the partnership, you know, and that did send shockwaves and ripples through the NRL. Those clubs that are running programs over here, yeah, because we control all the tournaments now. That's the truth. We control the best ones, and people from, you know, around the country are starting to come to our stuff, and man, this is what we want. This, you know, because if they go play in Christchurch, Niue is like nothing. Wellington, we're pretty small numbers, but you rock up to Hawks, we've got a team of Niueans from everywhere, but we're ready to play. You know, the passion is still there in the jersey. A scoreline doesn't reflect the passion that these boys have in the jersey. Yeah.
So what does the national team look like at the moment? What's the status of the Niuean national team?
Niuean national team at the moment, we're redoing our membership to the International Rugby League Federation. Yeah.
So what does that mean? There's no team.
There's no legitimate team that can play test matches. They only can play internationals and tournaments. But like I said, we've done a restructuring. We've got all the paperwork right at home. Everything properly registered with the guys back home. They have a number of meetings a year that's a requirement, and like they're an incorporated society. So are we over here. We're an incorporated society. I've done the paperwork on that. It's a lot. To be legit, it's actually a lot bigger than what people think. But it's easy to stand at the bar and have an opinion on things, eh? You know, I laugh it off, I just ignore it now, but it used to annoy me 2 years ago. You know, you kind of, he said, she said, and you kind of, man, they put a bit of GST on that story. You know, but it's, at the end of the day, I understand, whatever, they're passionate about our people. They want to get there, but I don't care what they say. It's the Palangi system. It has to be done. Oh, but that's not what they did before. I says, yeah, I know. That's why we weren't done properly before, you know. It's easy to take shortcuts, but you're going to get caught out sooner or later, eh?
So it's just a matter of ticking all the boxes.
That's all it is, brother. It gets ratified by the World Federation at their meetings, and they only meet like 3 times a year.
All right, so you're going to wait.
You got to have a high-performance coaching plan, have a legitimate comp back in the islands running, which is what we're all doing right now. Well, I've just told you over the last hour and a bit, eh? So,
everything, all the foundations are there, like ready to go, and
there you go. You know, you've got to have an active comp, X amount with the registered players. You've got to have all those registers.
That's why Taniara is there.
Well, we're taking him up, and to do that this week. You know, he flies out on Saturday. He's pretty big. But like I said, we have to honour him. He's significant for us because it was him and Jordan Friend that brought us into the Pacific Youth Cup. Rest is history. You know, he's still at the Warriors, and but he's not in the same role as before. But you know, he advocated and said, "Oh no, I'll work with these guys. It can actually work." He was there on our MOU signing, and it was. We had free news come. Yeah, I did the invites, and it was you know, and I think JD, he was the biggest. You know, he goes, "What do you reckon, bro?" And that's how he talks. It's all bro. He's the mayor. This is his nickname. We call him the mayor. He's what do you reckon, bro? And I says, no, I think it will work, and we invited, and a lot of the hitters in rugby league came, but then some of them weren't. But this is not a new thing, eh? There was another organisation before us. Yep, there was, and it didn't end too well. I don't know. I was only a parent back then, real young parent, and I've heard some of the stories, but you know, that was then. This is now. That's how, and we rebranded the whole bit. You know, we were asked to take the old name. We said, no, we're okay. You know, he said, she said, we don't know what we'll go with this. Okay, so we rebranded, and that night, man, a lot of people came. 221 and Mangarees East Rugby League Club.
Well, so what's the new brand?
The PAC.
Oh.
Pacifica Aotearoa Collective.
Yeah,
we just made that up on Wolfpack. Yeah. So yeah, we launched it that night. We signed an MOU, pretty detailed one, binding us all together. Like I said, it wasn't a new thing, but some of the few people in the room thought, man, this actually will work. And Tony said that to me, this might work. And then, well, we started playing at a stadium in 222, and then 223 we signed with the Warriors. So now we're looking at 224. We want to take our product to the islands. That's what we want to do. because that's what was not done with the mainstream. No one's touring anymore. I want to tour. I even want to host the Pacific Youth Cup in Niue. I got to look at the logistics, accommodation and stuff like that, because you got to make it financially attractive, eh? So that's what I've just learnt. One thing to be a fan on one side of the table, but when you get on this side, and your job is here's your budget of 300,000 to find. Okay, cool. There's a different set of skills, eh?
They had the Nines at the South Pacific game, no?
Yep.
Did the Niue have a team?
No. We're no different to any other nation. Have internals. I won't get into too much detail with that, but we follow the lead of Niue Rugby League Tuamutu and what the board say. And they made a position on certain things. Because there's a different set of kind of rules there and governance structure, what people don't realise. And so, that's unfortunately on this one, but the next one we should be there. We've got to look at the term of people's positions and stuff like that. But there's a few other things.
The ultimate goal would be to have a rugby league national team and play in Tier 2 along with Tonga and Samoa. That would be the ultimate goal.
I think so, because I listened to the old school. They talk about the Pacific Cup, which is cool, but we'll never get that time in life back. Society's not made for that anymore. The cost of living's gone up. People's time is different. The game's different now. I think we can come back something similar. But when people have spoken to me at Pacific Cup, I said, that's cool. But this conversation just started with 10, 20, 30,000. Take the money out. It's not about the game. Referee still gets paid. The referees, the uniforms. We still have to, either if we take it to a stadium, we have to hire the stadium. Stadiums of 30, 40, 50,000. Easy. Okay, do we put it on a live stream platform or you go Sky TV? One's double figures, one is a single figure. Do we go with 1 camera to 4 cameras, 5 cameras?
The players wouldn't be a problem though. Like, how many NRL players right now are eligible to play for Niue?
Look, one thing I learned from the Tongans, I'm talking to key members of the staff on the first one. The big thing was get the off-field right, and they'll play for next to nothing. You got players that are on 200,000-300,000 a year, and they're just happy with the $100 matches. But you got 2 masseuses, 2 physios, the washing, everything's done. The food to take, you know what I mean? And plus your team kit. You've got, here's your team kit, all your bags. There's those little things, not giving them a $2 shop bag or no bag at all. But, I got a lot of respect for those nations that they get their teams to wherever they're going, because a lot of them are in debt before they leave. Not literally, but by the time they finish the campaign, there's a bill somewhere that hasn't been paid. I mean, man, I can remember us coming back and one of the coaching staff decided to run the speed camera twice on the rental van. Ends it out, I'll go, can you just pay? And like, you don't dispute it, bro. It's like, yep, done. And they made a couple of hundred, but I'm kind of going, man, we're angry at this couple of hundred compared to a nation that owes 10 grand. It's like, man, those aren't figures. And there's a lot of work. I'm happy with the way. I know some people dispute it with the well-being space, but some of those well-being people that we've brought on for Niue, they're actually there for the players as well. The coaches, but also the administrators. Because we wake up in the morning with that bill on our mind, and we're juggling our family life, our work life, and something actually suffers. And so that's why you got to have a strong board, because sometimes at the top you only can lean on each other. One man band, I can see why people run into problems, mentally, physically. That's why I have a bit of respect for the Moana Pacifica brothers, especially the ones that were top that kick-started that thing in the boardroom. They got nothing. And those stories you heard, I got it fact-checked, and it was true. Like they were, cool, here's the license. No, you do the rest. And then there was a few, barriers, you know what I mean? They moved the goalposts on them. That's, But when they kind of went to the stadium, you hear it, and you talk to the Warriors stuff. Man, those guys have got it hard, compared to they make it sound flash with Super Rugby, but man, they actually stacked it against those guys. And you got to think of the guys that were top. How were they sleeping at night, knowing that they had to put a professional team together? They had to win within 12, 18 months. Man, and that's why, our well-being person for us is like there for all of us. You know, go have a church. Church minister, by the way, for us. Chappie Talamahina. Good, very good man. He's Chappie, something out this way. He does all those talks with us and just walks us through everything. But like I said, I have newfound respect for the administrators. If you do your job properly, and you look at the results and the smiles, but man, you're wearing a lot. And that's what even they say, he's played the international, but there's 10,000 gone straight away. I mean, no one wants to talk about the figures, eh? But for Niue, we want an expectation that you come to play for Niue, we want your gear, so the short socks jersey is yours. You know, every jersey we put embroidery on there. You're playing a test match, that's the level we have. You've earned this jersey, it's yours. So it has the match, the date, there's all the main jerseys, and it's presented in front of the hall. And man, I've had players go, man, Bill, this, frame it. Or never give it away because you earned it. But you look at that kit there, that's already a few thousand out of pocket, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Your physio walks in the door and he's a paid professional and he's another couple of grand. Or whatever that is.
So I can see the obstacle is just, I guess, what you're trying to do is like set up the infrastructure first.
Oh, brother, I do all that. And the running joke, people kind of laugh, still giggle and some frown. I'll come on the radio and said, if there's another $1 million sponsor out there to sponsor Rugby League, man, $500,000, please contact us. Like I'm right now on your podcast looking at the camera, with $500,000, man, the development of New Rugby League will go to another level. You got proper paid staff that live and breathe this, but they'll have KPIs, reviews themselves. But then, we've got more resources for players to show up and go, man, I don't have to stress about this. Hey, it costs money. And I respect the guys that were running it out of New South Wales, because they had a lot of money to find. We're playing a test, good on them. So, no, they still had to hire the venue, everything. Not easy, man. And especially if you're relying off fees, and we're not a full club season. We're only, short term. Short period. We could do one fundraiser, but that's not really going to be much, eh? It's like the 2 ticket story we're laughing about. 2,000 to 5,000, but man, the campaign will cost 30. And funding there's like there's ins and outs. So I really want us to get back there. But yeah, the Asian Dragons, they paid their own airfare. Those boys back from Aussie. One came from Cairns, so that's 2 flights. Flew into Brizzy and then Brizzy over here. But that's the meaning behind the jersey, eh? And with these girls coming from Brisbane with their coach, they've paid all their own airfares. Did their own fundraising, but they know they're part of a movement. You got to make them to feel like they're part of us. We're all in this together. It's not. And I think 6 years ago, people used to say, "Oh, it's Auckland this, Auckland that," but it's not. It's Niue Rugby League, man. It's about our people and our flag. And we're winning people over here and there. I met a guy just today too. He thought it will still run like 218. I said, brother, you need to come and talk to me. And 2 fellas piped up. It was at a rugby training that I got asked to pop into. And for Niue. And then, that guy was shocked and was looking at me. It's true. He goes, this ain't like 218, brother. It's come a long way, But then, in the same conversation, he was saying, when's the next training? I'll bring my son down. I said,
Yeah.
Nah, it doesn't work like that anymore, brother. You get a selection letter. When you get selected for Niue, we give you a selection letter. You get an info pack. You explain. And that's your first part of you earning your child's earned his right into that team. And we give you all that, and here's all the manager, and then we call a meeting, And he's looking at me trying to put this together, and he's still looking at me, and I'm going, no, I'm telling you the truth. You've been going, he's a union man, that's hardcore. When's the next training? I'll bring my son. We had the training, and the guy's got a big heart, and he's, hey, see what my son's doing over here? Can you see what he just done over there? And I'm like, another Niuean fellow, and he actually walked away, and another dad's next to me, and goes, did you buy into that? I went, nah. I said, nice guy though, but bro, the team, I was up front, team selected. We've got the players. We'll send out notices to the unsuccessful applicants and just tell them, hey, look, keep training hard. Come back and play for us, in 224. There was a lot of young, out of that over 50, there was a few young ones in there. Like they wanted it now. I said, no, you can wait, because we were blessed. Like 2017, man, we were still signing up players, like pretty much game week. We were still an unknown commodity back then, when you think about it. Like I said to you, parents aren't too trusting. Oh, man, I don't know, is this one of those rural island things, Especially if they're disconnected from the community, But now when there's a lot of evidence, the story, what's the new thing now? Storytellers. Like, I don't know if that's an actual position now in an organisation, is to have an effective storyteller. Well, they get paid and our guys don't. You're talking to one of three storytellers,
It's part of the marketing strategy,
That's it.
Because we've got social media now, all these platforms, the opportunity to tell stories,
Hey, can we just write on one piece of paper and hand it around the table?
When you're a kid, like, why rugby league? Did you come from a rugby league family? Is that why? Rugby league's your sport?
There was rugby, boxing, love this drink, and everyone I grew up with in the area was all the elite kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And, same scenario, there were two teams at the club. The team of superstars who had a warrior come out of that team, and then the other team had street kids. Street kids, the ones, those kids. But the camaraderie, the brotherhood, I never forgot it, I still, what's his name? Tilly. He used to take us on his van. Had a big old Bedford van, white one, and, didn't ask for money, but just wanted people to play and be there. So we'll all pile in and he'll drop us off. Everyone will walk home. But I still remember those days, and then it just kind of carried on through. Put my own kids played all sport, all heaps of kids, and put my boy through boxing for a little while. Went to that. For a small sport amongst the Niueans back then, it was pretty divided. And then but league's always been a thing. My wife, that was her league club. My brother-in-law, he was the club captain, or he was the captain of the Prems when they won the Fox the only time.
Just for Mangalia East.
Mangalia East, and I remember me. He used to always doggo do. Man. Even now, if you just talk to anyone, those are the games. Those are the games. And I've been to games where, man, we've gotten the hiding, or we've given the hiding. So it's a good atmosphere. But and from there, my wife just we were young parents on the team. Took our son through. Our daughters played netball next door because at Hawks they own both the netball club and the rugby club. They own the facilities. One of the few clubs, by the way, that owns all their stuff. And then she just invited on the committee and then hasn't stopped. She's worked her way up like to the first female chairperson to club GM now.
Oh, wow, she's up there. Your wife's up there with in rugby league circles as well.
Auckland Rugby League now, board director. That sort of stuff. And then, man, this has been a good conversation. I don't really tell this too much. I was nervous. I asked her about Niue. And our very first event was their Battle of the City. We'd done heaps of prep, and I was like, what do you reckon? And I asked her, after I'd done all these hours, what do you reckon? She goes, hey, I told you, it's easier to build a brand new house than fix a broken one. And I never forgot that to this day. And I stand by that. We built from the ground up, all the foundations, than having to come in and fix a broken house. She goes, I walked into a system that was already broken and we had to fix it. And there's a wise word she gave me, man.
That makes a lot of sense, eh? It's like cut the stress, eh?
Oh,
start to live again.
It was, man. And I credit her as my biggest, she like kind of overdoes it, giving me a bit of flick, as husband and wife does. But I went from those guys that used to drink on the sideline, heckling the opposition in the corner of Mangrove. Everyone knows that there's one corner by the alleyway, and we'll tell you what's up to and back it up because we're 30 strong, 20 strong, and I used to feel sorry for those North Shore guys coming over. Man, we were just heckling to me.
Yeah.
And went from there to, man, I've done every job in the club, like barman to clean the toilets, vacuum the floor. We couldn't afford the stuff, so we volunteered. Then got into the managing side of things. I remember one of the great coaches at our club, passed on now. He, kind of looked at me and said, some people are made to coach and some people are made to manage. I was Auckland Manager of the Year 3 times. I went, I found my specialty.
Yeah.
So I just went with that. And then that Pacifica story came up with Niue. And then, man, all the feelings, just all the rush and emotions of the game came back. But then it came back to actually setting it up properly. I learnt a lot of things at Māngere East, and then, just talking with, but the great thing about league, it's grassroots. When it is grassroots, and the game's played in a lot of low socioeconomic areas, the fancy term, but it's actually played everywhere. You get the kids out on the shore, they have the same stories as us. But, with Niue, I don't care when you're with us. So our furthest family is Whangaparo. And for the Auckland Niue, there's a couple of families up Red Beach, Whangaparo, and we go right down to Pukekohe. And they're part Niueans. And I don't look at them anything otherwise. Even though I might hear the old, yeah, bro, check us. Ooh. Whakalofalai atu. Oh, yeah, whakalofalai atu. Great people. They're so proud. And those ones, man, I could tell you, the first time you see them come, and you can see the look, say they're like nervous, the family and the kid. Maybe the kid's okay, and the mum and dad, oh man, uncle, auntie, okay, then you just got to cut the ice and say, man, how's things? Where are you from? But they're already wearing the club colours, so you're okay, you're one of us. Then we just, from there. And man, 9 times out of 10, by the end of the season, man, they're so proud. Oh, thank you, man, we're really thankful for this. Because at the end of the day, I always tell the kids, hey, you play with heart and all that, but also remember your parents put the gas in the car. Gas is expensive now. It was their time finishing work early to get you to the training and to pay the fees. It's like, I think a few people rang me up and says, my son wants to play for Tonga or Samoa. I said, who's paying the bills at home? Oh, me. Okay, who pays the fees? Because it's not free fees over there. Oh, me. Well, I know who's making the decision. It's all dads too, never the mums. And he goes, true, what about my missus? And says, well, who played the sport? Me. Oh, there you go. But happy wife, happy life. But there's always middle ground. It's hard case, bro. Hard case. But yeah, those are all the stories. Like I told you earlier, I'll look families and man, your child was our first pick, not our second pick. You go to the big nation, you're in the shadow squad. What the hell's the shadow squad? That's the player from 25 to 35 that we have on standby. Man, I'm not sure. No. You're number one. Okay. And I'll tell you, parents want to hear that, eh? And those little kids come through the mini-mos. Oh, man, congratulations. Get them all in the line, go high-five all of them. I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Myself, Sam Patua, he's a great man, big heart, and he does that too. He loves the little ones. So he was our original. But yeah, bro, like I said, we've morphed into all these different areas. But we've got a standardised system, that we use to support everyone. But, that's the big thing. So this year was Matalahi Kaiao Tangata Niue. So that was proud to be Niue. That was the hashtag. We carried it all year.
Oh, yeah.
And the kids were like, do up flyers. Flyers that actually, but I do those. I taught myself during COVID how to do flyers. I'm not paying $150 an hour, for free flyers. So I do them all, but, that was it. That was the hashtag. And man, proud to be Niue. Every time you score, the whole nation scores. Oh, the kids, they're really getting into it. But, man, I for myself, many more as participation, but, the coaches will come. I won all my games. Okay. But you got to congratulate them. It means something. Say, hey, what happened? No, we're just celebrating. We never lost a game in the whole series because they played 3 times. Oh, yeah, cool, mean. But, man, if you ever come be a part of that, you come. It's a logistical operation where a well-run team, man, they got barbecues, everything, packs. It's a real, man, hoodies, and all these kids are proud. And, and with the T-shirt kids now, they've still got the original gear, man. Yeah. Like I got buzzed out. One parent, they just sent me a photo. And I said, Phil, I found this in the closet. It was the son's original counties T-shirt. Those things, matter. And like I said,
look where we started,
Bro. And the branding alone, I learned that from, myself and the committee from day one was branding. That's marketing 101, eh? You know, we went right through that, and we just stuck with that shield. You know, someone asked us in the first 2 years, we should change the logo. Go away.
You know, when Niue has a rugby league team in Tier 2, what would the name be? Because, you know, Toa Samoa, you had MMT. What would Niue's one?
Niue Rugby League, Tuamutu, NRL. We call it Tuamutu. That's going around. The TM's going around now. Like I said, a lot of Aussie slowly but surely are coming to the party. You know, this podcast will get back to some of them. You know, but the sheer fact is, you can't base a international team in a foreign country. That's black and blue. You can't. You know, unless the IRL flips it upside down. And if they do that, they open up a can of worms. They can Pandora's box basically. And so back home is strong now. Tuamutu is everything. You know, and their aspirations is a player to be picked from the national team from there. It's good to have goals and visions. I mean, who would have picked them to come play in the PYC and actually play? You know, and like I said, Joshua Buckner Pomali played for us at the PYC under 15s. Got those 2 tries, and he was fresh from the islands. When I told the other nation leaders, they kind of looked at me like this, and I said, bigger picture. Eh? It's all, what's our joke? Playing chess, not checkers. Eh? And it's all the long game. You got to play long game.
Yeah.
It's a long game, brother. You want to do short term value, well, that's what you're going to get out of it. You know what I mean? But it's all the long game. And what I've just basically mapped out for you for this time is the last 7 years and how we've built. So every year's got to be something new. Eh? That's how we do it. We before we raised the flag. Niue ki mua. Every year we had a special hashtag for the year, and that year we'll add something new into each year. That, and we've only charged the fees at a certain amount of money too, by the way. And you get you get a t-shirt, and their t-shirt's the Niue t-shirt. Man, those little kids like, hold it up. You know, you're an international player. Yeah.
But I think the good thing about you guys is that you're not sticking with the status quo as well. Like, you're doing things different. Like, well, for instance, the KiwiSaver thing. You know, you're looking at different avenues to raise money as well. You know, you've organised yourselves, and I think with the reward signing a deal with New Zealand Warriors, that's a major.
It was a game changer for us. You know, and you know, honour the treaty and honour the partnership. You know, it's basically, and like I said, they've got high performance programs set up for the coaches, because it's not only about the players, it's the coaches as well, to help develop our nations. Man, I'm there. We're small. You know, if you haven't noticed from all my talk, I think we're like Switzerland. We're neutral, bro. You've got to move with everyone. You can't sit there and have a gripe because of this guy, you know, didn't give you that deal or something. Nah, man, we work with everyone. You know, to a degree, to an extent, but we'll work with everyone because we need it's all key relationships. Everything strategic, we've got to go that way. Hey, it's chess. And you know, if people look after us, we'll look after you. Don't get me wrong. When I dealt with the federation, you know, and I told them, look, you're gonna have to sort certain things out. And I explained to them, I says, look, I'm going to be straight now. Do it properly, please. Yeah. Just because, you know, at that time, Tonga were going through court. I said, Niue is smaller than them, yeah, but we've got the same bite. My lot know how to use social media effectively. Oh, no, we don't have to. So, no, I'm just being upfront about a few things. You know, I want to be able to manage this properly and well. You know, and they'll, you know, like I said, everyone, we got our own social media influencers, 40,000, 50,000, you know, and I got 2 of them on phone call I can ring. You know, you only can ring them at, you know what I mean, if you really need something. But that they meant it, you know, if our people need help, we're there. Pardon wins. But, you know, you look at their following, 40,000 followers. You know, one post, 2,000, 3,000 people. You know, so we keep everyone ready. But, yeah, small nation that we are, we've managed to organise. You've got to organise, and there's a lot of moving parts to it. And that's just one big machine.
And it seems like you guys organised, yeah, you've said, and we know you guys are a small community, but you've sort of like come under the radar and just come up out of nowhere and you know, done the deals, you know, and that's something that's
that got put to me.
Yeah.
And I can remember some of the old guard in one particular nation told off this leader and said, what do you want to work with them for? That's Niue. What are they? That was 6 years ago. Look where we are today. And I still work closely with one particular leader. And he knows these stories, and that was their perceptions back then. Little Niue. But how they pick the team, they'll just ring around, or they'll pick the club team. And I went through that, No. We have trials now. For 13s up, we have muster days. There's a registration process. There's a vetting process where, if you're red flagged in your form or you're red flagged, if there's issues, we sort it. We have meetings with families. There is a method to this, right down to signed letters, bro. That's how we've done it, We need to be sure. But then, like I said earlier, the teams have got to have resources. Got to have all of this. Your fees is this. You give them the whole packet. So they come every year, but we like to try and change everything. One or two pieces are kind of different, but we pilot a lot of things.
It's funny because I haven't seen the rugby union version, but I've seen the basketball version.
Oh,
I've seen Niue basketball. They participate in the Polynesian tournament. That's every year.
I think the guy that runs it, I forgot his name on top of my head. I saw him in his first radio interviews. I think he's going to go well. He just needs good people behind him. We had a committee behind us, but the Niuean radio for our community is the focal point. So PMN Niue, Pacific Community Network, Whama Viliamu and Limpavi, they're day one, like literally day one. And when I say T-shirts, they remember those T-shirts. They were the MCs. The first time we went on there to talk about the Battle of the City, that was one of the highest nights they had for viewer engagement. Rugby league's back. Really? And then we had a little debate, myself and the committee, just to promote it. And ever since then, we attend all their stuff, AGMs and things like that. We invite them to everything. Put them in the box when we played in 2020. If you look after us, like, we'll look after you, anything in life, you give back what you put in, basically. Memories, bro. I can't wait till we celebrate our 10. Not 15, I said, no, we're going to celebrate the 10 years.
Yeah.
Because, you come from T-shirts, committee paying for the jerseys. Far up, man.
So where do you see yourselves in year 10?
In year 10, I like to have paid staff, a high-performance staff member that delivers coaching clinics, even if it's a part-time role, that will run a tackle tech day, and get the kids in to do tackle tech, or he's going to work one-on-one or in a group session with our coaches. And then if there's any coaching classes coming up, he'll assist them with the... So what I've found with some of our coaches, they're very good at the fundamentals of coaching. We're putting the drills and all that, but that thing scares, essays, and they got to answer questions, and so we want to provide that kind of support. And like I just said, when you coach for Niue, you got to be open-minded. We're not coming in to put 50 points on a team, but we're also not coming in to get 50 put on us. But if something goes wrong, there's got to be a support network. So in 10 years' time, we want, like we're just starting now with the wellbeing and the director of coaching. We want that rolled out everywhere, And we get to the 10, we register a player in our database, it pops up in Australia. They see in real time all the names, and same with the guys back home. But that kind of CMS system, it costs a lot of money. But if those are dreams I want. I want to take a PYC in the 10 back home. I want to host one of those tournaments. Back there, we're still pitching rugby league tourism. That's a biggie for us. This is, Niue is the land before time. You talk to people that actually go holiday there, and they go, man, it's real quiet, backwards, but it's, the way of life. I said, yeah, man. We're not commercialised like Cooks and all that, we're pretty commercial. And that's why we want to take them back. I want to show them what we have.
I think it's good. I think what you guys are doing, I think what would push you guys to move forward to get your goals is the unity part, and the collaboration, and also the the pooling of resources. You got Niue in the center, the culture in the center. You get the kids to buy into it; they're already buying into it. But you get the parents to buy into it with the help professional, you run the whole show, and I think it's a good thing,
Oh, it's good people. Hey, the Komiti, like myself at the top, it's a good leadership. A group of us. It's, as I said earlier, I do all the promo. You hear my voice, you see my face on front of anything, but it's not me. It's a whole team of us. They're the guys behind the scenes that make things happen. Like I don't make there's key decisions that I don't make it on my own. Coaching reviews, I don't do it on my own and stuff like that. But you've got to evolve. And like I said, this is my first podcast. First podcast, and I'm wondering what other podcasters come, anything. Like I've been real avid watching how it all works. I'm going, man, it's a bit of work. And when I walked in, I seen all your kit. I went, man, you need space. First thing you need is space and power. And all the ports. I went, ooh, jeez, okay. Because you got to evolve with the time with the kids too. And I think my generation is leaning towards this as their that's their social media. Oh, that's my input, and I'm watching it, and I'm looking at some of the other podcast formats, but they're more holistic base, they're well-being space, they're more into that. I mean, cool. Then
there's heaps of that.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm all for the sports, myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm, well, from my experience, getting kids involved in sports keeps them out of trouble, And at club level, we've had all the broken dreams, all the bad homes, and then you find those kids. Every league club's got this where they don't want to go home because home's not right. The club is the only support system they got. And I've watched some of those kids go pretty far in the game. And I'm feeling my age when they come in. Oh, here's uncle. They call me uncle. My wife, auntie, they're holding the baby. We just took this guy to Rainbow's End when he was 8 years old, and now we're holding the baby. And his partner's like lost. She's like, "You're not a league." Yeah, he goes, "Nah." But you watch those kids, and those are those stories. Now I'm telling you, like one of the old boys that play with my son, he's a premier coach now. He stepped up. The club's mixed results. But they gave him a shot, he's a co-coach, but he's a premier coach, and he's the same age my oldest boy, and played together. Another one we took to Rainbow's End. Another one with a story. But you watch them progress through the game, and those are the grassroots stories. I think if you're at the commercial level, at the top, you need to come back down to the ground and get amongst the people and get their feeling, their camaraderie, that sense of belonging, That's what the club does, but I treat Niue like that now. Like I said, program, it's actually a whole year operation now. Niue before was only like a 4 month. It grew from 3 to 4 to 5. Oh, it's 11 months of the year. We played our first tournament in January, and I just finished last week. I'll get December off, and then we're back in January.
You still got your full-time job?
Still running. I still go to work when I can. So I do Jumping Castle High, Bouncy Fun Castles, Dockhead.nz. But these things fall on Saturdays.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's the key time to get at work. So I pick up jobs here, there, anywhere. But like I said, it's a volunteer, and I feel for a lot of the people that are running these things. They are volunteers, and it's easy for our people on the other side of the table to throw stones at them, but they're human beings like the rest of us. They have families, and the social media stuff. It's brutal. I don't put myself out there. We don't put ourselves out there. It's a two-way street, and it's a beast that can just eat you. Like I said, I prefer this engagement. And I says, oh, don't worry, I'll come see you face to face. Where are you? I'll come. We should just talk now. And 9 times out of 10, everything's solved pretty quickly. And I'm quite proud of our parents at Niue. We never have too many issues, and if they're from club, bro, they understand the system. Like, if you're from a good club, here's all the rules. You kind of know. I get like one a year, one radical here that wants to change the whole thing from top to bottom to top. And brother, we've been going 7 years ago. So you ain't changing anything overnight. But I reckon, and 9 times out of 10, like I just said to you, it's because their kid and that team. Well, what about the other 22 teams that we play under our banner? And that's what I always educate our people. We don't get everything right all the time, but we don't get much wrong either. But you got to look at the whole banner. And I hope this podcast gets out there, man. I've just given out the blueprint, or I even gave some of the inside secrets. I'm going, oh.
No, man, it's going to get out there, man. It's going to get out there.
But grow the people, help the people.
Yeah, man. Nah, you're doing great things, man. Yeah. And Phillip, man, appreciate you, man.
Cheers.
Appreciate you coming in and telling your story, man, and what you guys doing.
No, thank you. Come out to some games. Come January, watch us on Sky TV.
Yeah. So just tell listeners about the event, the Pacific Youth.
Yep, Pacific Youth Cup Festival at Navigation Home Stadium from the 24th of January to the 28th next year in Pukekohe. Niue, Tonga, Māori, Samoa, Fiji, Cook Islands, Tokelau. Those are the 7 nations, and we'll put in teams, but it's only the under 18s grade. So we treat that grade like the flagship, the pinnacle. So you understand what I'm painting for you, the pathway. You've come through the mini mods. Oh, now it's serious. From 13s to 17s, it's all serious. 18s is the pinnacle now, because after that it's senior men's and that. So to get to the stadium, it's a big honour. But hey, look, those sort of campaigns for the nation, we're going into camp. I'm running 2 different camps. They come at a cost. So if there's anyone out there that listens to your podcast, brother, that wants to give donations, anything like that, I'm always open to that. We still put things there, but we want a quality campaign. Not we don't believe in over promising and under delivering, because that's going to burn you in the long run. No, so we go the opposite. We don't tell them we're giving you the more. This we just provide.
So where can they find you on social media? To
Auckland Niue Rugby League. You just go and Google that. We'll pop up. 10 out of 10, I'll guarantee you will pop up. And look, we've got a website, aucklandniuerl.co.nz, and we bought the URL. The other thing we set up is the website. And so you can go and find us from there. We'll have our sponsors, like our insurance provider and all that. We've got all of that. We've set all that up as well. So there's a page there for sponsorship. We've got a pretty good reach. We're doing Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So we've joined the TikTok craze. I'm learning as I go, bro. I've got no choice. I don't have those social media team. It's a team of 2. There's myself and one of the other committee. And our flash camera is the my Galaxy phone with the $2 cover. It's like, man, still going. Yeah, brother, hard. But no, thank you for your time. I didn't realise it was that late. I'm going, whoo, made it.
No, man, this is what happens, man, when you're having fun.
Oh, man. And yeah, I'm enjoying my time. I'm interested to see how this all pans out on online.
Yep.
And I think, man, at West, I can't wait. And I wish you all the best for the future, brother. And like that 10-year story, let's make a thing in 10 years. And he goes, hey, man, when we sat down at 223, and then, wow.
Oh, then, yeah, man, because this will be here forever. So you can look back at this and you see where you were at that point, the 7-year mark, and then you look forward, and then when you're at your 10-year mark, you look back at the 7-year mark.
Right. I believe in that. I've got the videos and photos, and you look back at that. But no, thank you.
Are we looking forward to your documentary?
Hey, awesome.
Thanks, Phil.
All right then.
All right, bye.